This is Lansdowne ROAR, the voice of the fans, and this is the window review. David Dunn here, joined by Martin Prendergast. Oh, Martin decided to join us. And of course, McAvoy, my, what's that?
Yeah.
I just put a fist of celebration.
I want to make sure you use all the fingers. Oh, you're not using any fingers, actually. And of course, my little road buddy over the last
My chauffeur.
week or so. Thanks for dropping us back to the gaff last night, Connor, after the game. Well, you got a bag of chips out of it. Yes, this is the window review, where basically we're going to have a look, get your opinion on it as well, and just kind of riff a little bit. We don't really have much structure, just a bit of crack for the next 90 minutes. Of course, Martin and myself are just back from a lovely flight, Martin, from London. I mean, real class. I mean, Connor, not for your type, but Martin, like, we got on there, British Airways. I got a bit of stick for that. I got a bit.
You did like flying with your national airline. Fair play. Yep, supporting them all the way.
Well, I mean,
yeah, it was nice, wasn't it?
Well, you mean Aer Lingus, because they're the same company pretty much, aren't they? So there you go. Yeah, you actually check in with Aer Lingus. I actually forgot I had check-in luggage until when I flew out here Friday morning after I got back from Plovdiv. You weren't there, Martin, were you? No, I didn't see him. But yeah, it was a lovely flight back from
my very own watch along, Dave.
Yeah, you did, in your own personal watch along. I didn't even know we were on the same flight going back until he told me, you bastard. What was that about?
I like to keep things quiet, Dave. You know, I just didn't know how if you'd have got back from there. You know, after your drive Miss Daisy brought you home last night, and you know, you two you're very, very close over the last weekend or wherever it was. So
thank God there's been a separation.
Yeah, Jesus. Yeah. Sleeping on my own bed tonight. I know. You know what? It was good fun. I had good fun over the window. I mean, although it's kind of funny tonight, I was trying to tap onto the DLR with my Leap card. That wouldn't have got me too far. Yes, we see this, Martin. This is called an Oyster card. That's a Leap card. I know you don't do public transport, do you?
No, I don't know. I had to. You know what though? Trying to leave. I had the car booked in because I obviously was over with the kids and Caroline, and you know, lovely weekend. Lovely. Yeah, had a lovely weekend. Obviously, I was over. I didn't go to Plovdiv, as you said, because I had family commitments in Ireland. But really enjoyed it. Great seeing up all the family and chatting Irish football and following what you boys were doing as well. And yeah, I really enjoyed the weekend and. You know, just even the travel, but I did try. They tried to stitch me up at the city airport because I did drive down, park my car, and as I was trying to leave today, although I had pre-booked and everything, they tried to charge me 300 quid to leave the car park. So I had to press the help button, and but thankfully they went, "Oh no, okay, that's a mistake on our part." So out I got, but amazing 5 o'clock flight, and we had a good crack at the airport having a chat, and you were Uncle Dave looking after the kids at times while I brought you cappuccino.
Any business plans? Any business ideas that you want to share with me, or you want to share with?
Yeah, get you out.
Or
no, we were all very positive.
Rolling Stone is going to be our new host, is he?
Yeah, we're all very positive. But no, like, you know, 5 o'clock flight, Dave, wasn't it? And we took off early, I think, a little bit. And he put the foot down. We got there. We were joined by another international manager on the flight.
Farrell.
Andy Farrell was on our flight. Yeah. We chose not to bother him because he's a big fucker.
He is a big lad, isn't he?
I was in the door at 7:30. That's pretty good.
You should have seen it though, Connor. Like, Martin was just looking at Andy Farrell, and you could just see. I even said it to you, Martin. Didn't I? All I could see in your head is photo. I
couldn't justify it going over because I've no interest in rugby, so I just couldn't justify it.
Martin thinks he's probably a fake Irishman, do you, Martin? Because he's
that's it. Yeah,
he's just a manager.
With his, he was a couple of coaches as well. But no, he's a big lad.
British and Irish Lions coach as well for the summer.
He is indeed. Well, yeah, fuck them. No, it's a hell of a window. How did you out there, the Roar faithful?
Oh, and you forgot to say, Dave, biggest thing of all, thank you very much for 2,000 subscribers on YouTube.
I'm getting to that.
Well, you aren't going to say it. Was he going to say it?
I was going to say to them, just shut up and watch a professional in action. How did you feel about the window, our lovely Roar faithful? And of course, before we get started, yes, thank you. There you go, Connor. Thank you to our wonderful Roar faithful for getting us past the 2,000 subscribers mark here on YouTube. But I still know there's some of you watching this illegally without subscribing. So hit that subscribe button below. Head over to our Facebook, Instagram, and our Twitter account. And of course, if you want opinion, there's loads of articles going up. Head over to lansdowneroad.ie. That is lansdowneroad.ie.
Sorry, lads. There's been an impersonation in the comments. There's after been a message from the great Harrison Dalgleish. Someone said, "Hi Connor, how are you? Thanks." Harrison says it is someone impersonating him. That is not Harrison. It's someone pretending to be him, which is disgraceful. Poor Harrison getting impersonated.
What? Hold on. Okay, yeah. What?
Someone has said, Harrison, it's not actually Harrison has said it's not him. I've received the message, and Celtic Symphony has replied to him saying, "Just looking out for his good mate Harrison."
Okay, fair enough. Thank you for that, Celtic. Jesus Christ. We've already
What have
we've
we
got
become?
drama.
We've got 2,000 subscribers, but
Yeah.
with
They're
that,
the two most important. They're the two most important after the conversations they've had in our comment sections the last couple of nights with Harrison making a mug of Rolling Stone with his Lennon Miller. How many minutes did he play across international break?
That was
But,
outstanding.
that was great. I have to say, Harrison, that's one of the best comments we've had. I know you're obviously watching, Harrison, if you've seen that other comment, but
Yeah, get involved.
yeah.
John Foy says he's subscribed, but he watches on Facebook. Thank you, Joy. Thank you, John. I'm jet lagged from the journey coming over. Fantastic stuff. It's been a good window. We're going to talk about it. Of course, we want to get your comments there to flying in there. We have a Bulgarian in the comments as well. Some interesting comments that we're going to get to those. So keep them coming in. We will get to those. We're just going to have a little chat there because Martin, we haven't heard from you yet. Not that we care about the last window, but of course, I'll let you have the floor. I suppose. I mean, a good window, job done, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, fantastic window. Like I couldn't see the negativity from the kind of first game in a sense, and I'm really, really positive about it, and I have long been the Mr. Positive of the pod, as you know. But I try to always find positives. But we've got to be happy with 2 wins. That's not happened for 6 years. Okay. Even people were talking around, even in Dublin Airport, I heard people talking about, oh, I saw someone today, or I saw one of the footballers come through, all very positive, going, oh, they won the day and all this stuff. It's very unusual for that to happen. From a football perspective as well, the way the games went, coming from behind twice is amazing. To come back, they were calm and resilient. We spoke in the preview shows how we were going to be, I was worried about them, psychologically damaging from Wembley, where we lost the plot basically, and then conceded 5 ultimately. But I'm surprised at some of the negativity about it. I think we'll obviously go into a little bit of kind of technical analysis, I suppose, of it, but I can't have it the massive criticism of Knight and Cullen. I'm not having that at all. Now you're laughing at that.
No, they're so positive. He's such a positive man. He's just he's sticking up for his fellow Londoner, Josh Cullen.
Ask me how I was. Good lad. No, you know what?
Did you meet him? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, but I just think it's massive positive results, and I think this is, I saw a lot of the comments and stuff in your shows and things like that, and obviously I made some comments as well. But I just think it's a work in progress. This Heimer's changed an awful lot of things. Some of his decisions have been a bit questionable. Bringing Manning into the squad, everyone was thinking, wow, he wasn't in it originally, and obviously Cod got injured, brought him in. Played him. No, I'm just saying he played him, and people were a bit questioning, well, he wasn't good enough for the first squad, but that was a like-for-like replacement, I suppose. It was interesting watching the first game on RTE. But
you have that in Britain, do you?
I did. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Are you illegally streaming this? Are you?
Oh no.
Are you like one of our illegal subscribers out there? Are you? Are you, Martin?
Right. Anyway, it was interesting watching it, the coverage, different things. But no, ultimately, back to my point about the midfield, though. I can't see the criticism of it. Seriously.
Yeah. Is.
No. My point. Let me make my point. Right. People are expecting Ireland to be really expansive now and things like that. This is a work in progress. He's putting 2 midfielders there. Like Malumbi was out, Cousin Will was out. He's putting 2 midfielders there to do a specific job, and they've done it very, very well. Ultimately, work in progress, though, massively a work in progress. It was quite good to actually see the work Cullen does. He's going to be, in time, it will be remembered. Honestly, when he's finished, he'll be just like Glenn Whelan. We are underestimating the work he does and how he's organising that midfield. And you've got to remember, Knight hasn't played there an awful lot with him alongside there, because I know he's been pigeonholed in different positions. So they did make mistakes. So I wasn't impressed with some little things that we got wrong with the two centre backs behind him. You know, when the striker dropped off at times and had a shot from the edge of the box, a little bit like Harry Kane, creating an overload in midfield. That was worrying for me. There's a lot of work in progress. I saw it as well on the TV when I was watching it from Bulgaria. The little triggers and the pressing is not all synchronized at the moment, and that takes time. It takes time on the training field to get right. So I think we've got to be really, really positive about getting those two results. There's a lot of progress to be made in that team.
There's an awful lot of progress to be made, but no, I do think Knight and Cullen were quite pedestrian. They were non-existent at times, to be honest with you, Martin. Like, for example, the second goal only came because the equaliser yesterday only came because Evan Ferguson saw he was going off, ran back into midfield, did Cullen's and Knight's job for them, drove the ball forward, had a gorgeous 1-2 with Azaz, or give and go with Azaz, and then hit an absolutely gorgeous finish. That should be Cullen or Knight doing that. They didn't do it over either games. So that's where the criticism's coming from. And I think it's absolutely justified. Now, I think Cullen in the first game, obviously, he spotted Matt Doherty made an absolutely amazing run, by the way. If you haven't seen it, it's a brilliant run. He just runs from 50 yards out. Just beelines it, and Cullen spots him out. Brilliant. But yet again, where was the driving from midfield? Where was the running coming from? Only Azaz in the first leg really did it, and he was playing as a number 10. He had to come back. And Evan Ferguson was doing it because he was playing in a number 10 position last night. That should be Cullen's job. That should be Knight's job. And in fact, when Collins was playing a forward, he was bypassing Cullen and Knight. He was actually trying to hit it to Evan Ferguson. So that's where I think it's come from. What do you reckon?
My point, though, can I just comment? My point, though, on this, like, because I can see some of the comments coming in going,
you're getting pelted. You're getting pelted.
Yeah, I'm getting pelted. That's fine.
Go for it, Roar.
My point on Cullen and comparing him with Whelan is, I think we will just appreciate Cullen in years' time of how well he has actually done in an Ireland shirt, considering the quality of the squad we've had as well. Okay, because he's been in there next to Malumbi doing a job. We've had criticism under Kenny of we've had to overload the midfield and things because Kenny changed that a few times, didn't he? We were just too open. I think against a quality opposition, they will get found out, these two. Without a doubt they will. Like, I'm not saying that it's perfect, but I'm saying I think the criticism is a bit over the top on it. I'm actually saying how they did very, very well. I mean, I was level with them. So just the covering and the movement of Cullen, it's really interesting to see it, and the triggers and what you're saying about why they were so deep was because I felt Johnson was a bit, I felt kind of unfair on him a little bit because he was on his wrong side, and I said to you today, Dave, we met at the airport as well. Just some of the quality was lacking. The passing wasn't good. At times, the ball would come out to our right back or left back, and the pass actually going behind them, so they can't be on the front foot. And that was a lot of things that were wrong. Yeah. But I think it's harsh to be. We know that midfield's a problem. We know it is. But I'm just saying, I think
that's where the criticism harsh to go. It's fair criticism.
I made some notes. I've made some notes on the flight today because I didn't want to talk to you. But one thing I'm going to say is Connor needs to convince me. If you're on about John Patrick Finn, right? If you're on about him coming in, I need to be convinced. Why is everyone hyping him up to come in there? Like, I know we look, Connor, we're fans of Bosun, but he's not doing it at club level to be qualifying there at the moment. It's a problem area. But I can see all the comments coming in hammering me for this. But Cullen and Knight, they won't cut it against top opposition. I'm saying that is fine. We know that when Cullen played against France, he got caught for the goal. Let's not forget that. He's not good enough. Right. But I'm saying if the criticism has been over the top.
Okay, so Martin reckons criticism is over the top. I see all the comments coming in there. What do you make of that, Roar Faithful? I know what you make of it. Connor, I want you to come in on this. So that's my point. Obviously, Ferguson had to come deep and run forward, and I think Azaz was doing it because Knight and Cullen weren't doing it in either leg. What say you?
That was the biggest load of 10 minutes of talking absolute shite.
Wow.
What have you been talking about, Brendy?
Rubbish.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
Look at it.
The two of them, I
it's
think, are really
desperation.
excellent players. They can't play together. Neither Knight can play in the half turn, but the half time he refused to play in the half turn for Ireland. The two of them can't pass the ball, can't open up their body with their left foot, which is half the skill for a midfielder playing midfield. They can't open up their body with their left side, or they can't pass the left side, which often limits them many a time when they're getting the ball off a centre half and a right back or a left back to get on the front foot. So no, the midfield was very poor last night. There's no excuses. Yes, they both try hard, done. Both good players at club level. They're both excellent, but it's because the players around them that fit in their system. That's why I said bring on Andrew Moore last night, because he can.
Were both of them not in your starting lineup before the games? That your choice of starting lineup? Were they not? Yeah,
but I actually had three. I played a 4-3-3. I do think though the system doesn't help the fact that two of them. I don't think a 4-4-2 helps the fact you have two midfielders that are quite safe in everything they do. I think a third midfielder probably a 4-3-3. I think if you had
I had Wright on the right wing.
This is a little bit back to my point though. They were there to do a job. Malumbi was missing. Malumbi would have sat in there.
Yeah, but they done a job and they done shit. I'm not very good. I think they're both very good, but I thought they both played poor last night. And no matter what you think of them as a player, they both just didn't play well last night. Like I really
no, but they're not going to get you on the front foot. The creativity. Look at it. The creative. Cullen was
they're free to take any risks. They didn't take any risk. I can't think of one time. And any time they tried to do something a bit better, they pass it out of play.
Cullen was trying to get the ball down and play, even when it's free kicks.
And he was passing behind the fullback.
Yeah.
He just had a bad game. Brandy, I know. He just had a bad game.
No, I'm just saying over the two, though, what I'm saying is how they're trying to both play together there. Over the two games, I'm saying they didn't get it right, closing the gaps between the back four and the midfield. They were trying to not have that space behind. They got it wrong a few times, got away with it, as I said. But I think the creativity in this team was obviously Finn Azaz. So I'm going to help you here, Connor. But it was, though, because it was all through him. Brady as well. We know about the lack of quality sometimes. I mean, he got a bit of criticism, didn't he, the first game? But, ultimately it was a cross from him that did create the goal for Finn Azaz. And I think we should be more threatening from the set pieces, without doubt.
Well, we nearly scored twice last night with Jake O'Brien. Nearly scored twice.
I know. But what I'm saying is, like, I think another one I will make.
What's that got to do with the midfielders, by the way? Why are you drifting off? You notice that here, do you?
I'm not talking about creativity. No, because you're saying they're not creative.
I'm not saying they don't play in the front foot. They don't have to be creative.
They don't have to be.
They just don't play on the front foot. They don't get the problem is that David agree with me here. They don't play the ball on the front foot to get it into the creative players. They just play it backwards and sideways to the fullbacks. We need someone in midfield that at least can attempt to play the ball into Finn Azaz feet or into Ferguson's feet or into the left wing or right wing.
This is my point. When we did get the ball to Finn Azaz and we got it to Brady, that was our creativity. Like Johnson, what did he really do? He didn't get the ball enough, did he? In the spaces where he was, and that's what I'm saying. I felt a bit sorry for him. Troy as well played very, very well, but we have to play quicker in their final third.
I do think that's Heimer has a lot to answer for in terms of not even making changes, because you can go because the two of them have done all right in the past, or they play in midfield together. But after 60 minutes last night, you had to make a change in midfield. Like when he brought Taylor on, what was it? 15, 20 minutes left. Even it wasn't in the first batches of subs anyway, wasn't it? Not. It was Manning came on, Ida came on, and I don't think Taylor came on at the same. Did he come on at the same time as them? I don't believe so. He might have.
Go on, you keep talking.
But Taylor should have came on earlier, or I would have brought Andrew Moore. I know physicality wise, and when we don't have the ball, it's a lot less.
It was after the goal. He made the subs after Ferguson's goal.
Yeah,
it made the three subs. He still did it.
Ida, Sykes, and Manning. That's what it was.
Yeah,
Taylor should have came on at that stage. Simple as. That's the only criticism I really have of Heimer so far. Really is not bringing on.
He came on the 82nd minute. Taylor.
But the midfield was so we should have battered them last night. No harm to the Bulgarians and the Bulgarian in the comment. If you look at the standard of player we have compared to them, it's night and day. It's just too safe.
Sorry, but I
know what you're saying there, Connor. I know what you're getting there, Connor. Right,
just playing the front foot. That's all about. And as you know about John Patrick,
fine. And we should be doing that against opposition as poor as them. But let's be honest, he has to be planning for playing against better teams, and that is probably what he's going to do. He's going to set up with 2 defensive midfielders in there.
You have to
That's what
approach
he's gonna
differently
do.
though against good teams and bad teams.
I know he does, but I think the problem is he's got 2 results out of this playing that certain way. They have to be adaptable. We know that, but he has to set that out. And there's 2 games now in June where they're going to be able to do it, and they're going to be challenging opposition as well.
Smallbone definitely would have started one of them 2 games anyway. I know for a fact he would have started one. Maybe he might have started both of them because he's a bit Smallbone if he didn't get injured.
Yeah, and then again, that's more attacking, isn't it?
Yeah, but no, but even he plays deeper.
I've said
I'm not going to knock a family member.
I've said this about Cullen. I've said this for Cullen on the podcast for years since we started doing it. I wanted him in. Obviously, I did because I know someone out there is going to say, "You wanted him in." Yes, I did when Harahan was the only other player. But I've noticed it with Cullen. I saw him against Portugal. I had a view of him in the game against Portugal, the 0-0 draw. I was in the south stand, and I just saw he doesn't recycle the ball quick enough. He's not fast enough. That's why he doesn't make it in the Premier League, Martin. I know you don't want to hear this, and I've said it. That's why he doesn't do it in the Premier League, and he can't do it in the Premier League because it's too quick for him. He's not fast enough.
He could do very well in Italy. Forward.
He'd do very well in Italy, yes, but not in the Premier League. It's not quick enough. And you're playing a team like Bulgaria. Man, it was 5-4-1. They basically set out for the draw, like to not concede as many. Like they held on and see Grigor there. We will get to the rest of his comments. Here's one here. Your midfield is trash. What is this podcast guy in the top right? Bulgaria's midfielders were better passing. Yeah, because Cullen doesn't pass the ball forward enough. And Connor's right, man. It just goes back all the time. You can't keep doing that. Not against a team like Bulgaria.
It's a freak. When have we ever seen Cullen open up his body, play on the half turn? It's just such a simple. It's not what it is. It is technically a simple skill, but it is one you still have to master. And it is, in my opinion, the difference a lot of times in midfielders between a top midfielder and a very good midfielder. Josh Cullen's a very good midfielder. Like he's in the championship as a number 6. He's one of the best. So you have to be one of the very
I maintain the point though. They are a limited midfield. We know that, but I just think it's a bit over the top because we don't have anyone.
No, but the thing is, Martin, I hold them a lot higher standard than what most people do. And for their standard, I hold them to, they were very poor last night. Like they were very, very poor last night at home against Bulgaria, where it should be a simple enough game in terms of the way they were set up, that all they had to do was take the ball on the half term. Knight done it a couple of times. I remember in the opening 20, 30 minutes and won a couple of free kicks from it. That's what tends a lot of half turn does, because you end up taking a player out of it, getting past them. But no, like, I know you're on about John Patrick. Yeah, maybe he mightn't be the answer in the long run, but he has to be given a chance at this stage because our midfield is poor. He is playing weekly in a top 5 league. And the chances are probably if Stade Rem get relegated even by the end of the season, someone else will sign him, because he has done well enough, I think, to show Stade Rem so far that another French club would want to sign him, because he has shown he can compete at that level. Like,
and the reason why, Martin, as well, just with John, I know you haven't watched him. I'm not digging you out for that. Like, I mean, there's only so many hours in a day. Like, Connor and I watched them. What was that?
Probably lazy whore, I think.
Oh, right. Lazy whore. The thing with John Patrick, or Fitzpatrick, as I like to call him, I like to add a bit more Irishness to him, you know. But basically, John. But the thing with him is that he can break up play and he can move forward with the ball. He can go past somebody and then make a simple pass to somebody like an Azaz or like a Sammy Smolich, whoever is in that number 10 role. That's the thing. Cullen doesn't do that, and he hasn't done that, and he's not comfortable enough in the ball. I think Cullen is a bit of a, like, nothing against the lad. Like, he did play the ball for Doherty, but technical football is just keeping hold of the ball. But a good technical player can do that whilst playing it forward. All the top players, Matt, we spoke about this in the airport, they play it forward. Roy Keane plays it forward. Nathan Collins, always forward all the time. And when you pass...
you have to be brave. Yeah, but you have to be brave. But also, in that, as a defensive midfielder, like Carrick got criticised for that a lot as well, didn't he?
But a defensive midfielder can just pass it to the person next to them.
Carrick did a lot more, Martin, and you're just...
No, he did. No. I'm just
saying, a lot more sidewards. Michael Carrick like to play the ball
The
through the
range of
lines
passing.
better than
I know
anyone
it-
done.
Yeah.
I
John-
know
John
that.
That's a bit of a purr. And the fact you said when we in a couple of years time when Josh Cullen's gone, we compare it to Glenn Whelan.
No, but,
I think
all right,
that's
so
very harsh to
carry
Glenn
on.
Whelan. Played in multiple tournaments for Ireland. Josh Cullen at the current moment, his legacy of playing for Ireland is playing in a very poor year of Irish sides. I like Josh Cullen. He's an excellent player, I think, but he hasn't shown it for Ireland enough lately. But and I'm
No,
not
but
going to give up on him. He's still
probably
going
a
to be our
better
starting number
comparison would
6.
be Henderson. Henderson for England is often the way teams want to keep the ball better now. You have a defensive midfielder in there, and they just keep it, and they keep it simple, and they knock it back to the right. They're not going on the half turn. They're not doing that. You have to have someone like that in there at times. You do.
Connor,
You do have to have someone in there like that.
Connor, this is for you, baby. I think the chant in the upper right corner is Sadie McCullum because he's also an English-born Irishman. Amazing. Oh, God. It's already kicking off here. What do you think, anyway?
Comments by Mr. Celtic Symphony himself.
Yeah, the real one. No, the other Harrison lad is here as well. I mean, we could talk about the midfield all day, but it is going to be a problem. Hopefully, we get...
Boston is going to be in that squad, and Jude, I'm confident Boston's going to get his opportunity now at Stoke between now and the end of the season, and he's going to shine.
Hopefully.
And all the Celtic fans will be crying because I know Celtic fans like to, if a player leaves, just say that they were never good enough. But he's going to prove all these people wrong.
But just want to talk quickly as well about obviously the lack of balance in the side. I wasn't very pleased with. Like, I didn't like the fact that Johnson yet again played on the right, and of course Finis has played on left. Remember, Connor, we spoke in the pre-game. I asked, like, does Finis could he play on the left? Has he played on the left? And you said he played a few times there for Middlesbrough, but he nullified 2 players. And I thought, Martin, we spoke about it in the airport when Johnson was running for, because he's a left-sided player. He sort of, that fluidity was taken out of his game, but he had to kind of think, take an extra step because he's not used to it. And I think just don't stem the flow. Just let him play.
And the thing is, a lot of our attacks are just to jump. A lot of our attacks end up coming down the right hand side. We did have some on the left, but most of them came down the right in terms of actual build-up play as such, because Finis naturally is going to drift inside more than Johnson, because Johnson at least will try and go on the outside. Finis is not going to try and go on the outside. And he even said after the interview the other day, I think it was with Off the Ball, he said that he naturally his favorite is like as a 10, and he likes to drift into the right hand side pocket, and he was playing on the left. So I know he can cut in and shoot off his right, but I just think it was just very, very strange.
Yeah,
it is that this balance is the thing. Like, you know, Schmodix as well was we played him out on the left, haven't we? We've had Robinson out there as well in the past. Obviously McLean back in the day, O'Dowda. You know, we've that it's a problem position for us at left as well. But where I'll go back to actually is playing against Gibraltar in Portugal. Like, that was one of Johnson's best games. I mean, I know it was Gibraltar, but he was on the left hand side. So, you know, you've lost that balance there, and I know he gives the threat. I mean, I'm not gonna. I know we've had this chat about the midfield now, but Knight has played on the right before, hasn't he? He is one of them players who just gets thrown around, and we're expecting something of him as that midfielder there today. And I felt, you know, like, you know, why can't he be on the half turn or anything like that? But he's just been messed around with Ireland. They play him all over the place, and it'll just be a consistent job.
So his last, what I'd say, 3 appearances for Ireland have all playing the same position. Would be right. He played I know he played Finland away. He played that too with Cullen. I think he done the same against Greece away.
He did it against England.
England away, he was suspended. But
he was right.
And then the 2 games here, and then the last one before that was Finland home. Did he start Finland home? I think he did in that midfield. I
wonder, would he have started though with, like, you know, would they have gone with Malumbi in there next to Cullen? Like, if he wanted to play that too there.
I think in the way game he might have gone with that.
Yeah.
But, no, if they really wanted Malumbi in, he would have came in. They would have brought him in for Sunday. Like,
one thing I want to talk about as well. Obviously we should have been well out of sight before Bulgaria scored. When Bulgaria scored, I don't know how you guys saw this, but I was sitting there. It was the first corner of the entire game. They did nothing in the match. They, as I said, they set up for 5-4-1 out of possession. Like, it was really quite pathetic. And I just thought they're going to score from this. We're just going to do something stupid. Ball goes in. Jacob Ryan and Nathan Collins can't clear the lines, and then the guy just slots it home. I just think it's incredible that 2 lads playing in the Premier League, in mid-table teams in the Premier League, week in, week out, can't clear the lines. It just boggles the mind. I don't know what you do when you're Heimer Halgrimsson, the dentist, as Dunphy calls him. We'll talk about him in a second.
Fine.
But like, just really, really frustrating stuff there. Like that's like I said it. I wanted it perfect, and Roar Faithful, I want to get your opinion on this. Comments are coming in. If this is your first time watching, we will get your comments. We just do our little bit, and then we'll go through your comments, and then get more comments. But it just boggles the mind that these lads cannot just clear the lines. I wanted a perfect performance. I wanted one that, you go, you know what, we've turned the corner there, lads. We've cut out the mistakes, and then we go and do that. Now, we've obviously showed mental fortitude to come back, which is great. Our first back-to-back competitive victory in 6 years, which is mental when you think about it. But yeah, what's been making the mistakes there in the box? Martin?
I don't care. I don't care about them. No, what I would say really is if that was happening, if that was a one-off, really, if that mistake just happened,
mistakes aren't one-off though, Connor.
But like I'm trying to say, if that mistake, that I don't really consider it a mistake, but it just was like, I don't know what you'd call it. It was like a real lapsing. I don't know because I couldn't say lapsing effort, but or laxing judgment or a mistake, because you don't know who you'd blame for that. Is it Collins? Is it O'Brien? Is it both of them? But like, if that was like just the only mistake, like say Collins didn't make the mistakes the other day, or Collins didn't make the mistake Finland away, or the stuff with England away, I would have been like, oh, it's a once-off, it's a fluke. It's a fluke goal. It didn't. But the fact is, it just keeps happening for us. The goals we conceding isn't just spectacular goals or excellent moves. It's kind of all coming from Irish mistakes, which is my worry with that, because it is a bit of a fluke goal. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying, Dave, in terms of this should be doing better. But it is, in terms of it is a boy takes a terrible volley, and the volley ricochets into the box against them, and then somehow lands perfectly to their guy who's, I can't remember who actually scored the goal in the end, but whoever scored for the goal for them. But
Petrov?
It's disappointing. It's just disappointing that it constantly keeps happening.
Yeah, I mean, Martin, what do you make of that? Like, it's really just the goal scorer was and tough. I needed a tough.
For me, it's risk and reward. I don't like the way they set up defensively in corners. We've got everyone back there. I would actually have a player out on the halfway line, but that's just my probably coaching philosophy, to be honest. I would always have an out ball, and a team can't leave. I even like Mikey Johnson. He's probably better up out of the way than he is going to be defensively trying to head a ball. So he's your out ball. So win it, and you're straight away in transition, which is a point I'll come on to in a minute. But what they did was they have everyone back, and even if you win the header, it comes out to someone 30 yards out, and they recycle it and move it around again. So, and you're still defending in a kind of low block around the end of your box. So I'm a bit risk and reward on that. Really poor that they didn't pick someone up on the end of the box, and he's had that shot, and then it was a little bit calamity perfect kind of storm that they both kind of went and dived in. I don't know. I just I think they got away with one as well. I think John O'Shea, actually might have been quoted on this, that they knew these were threats. I think it's something that you at this level, set pieces are so important now, and they were more important to us, I think, under Stephen Kenny, in a sense. It was because we're very creative and creating chances. Set pieces are so important now, but you've got to be able to defend them as well. I'm surprised John O'Shea will probably look at that a little bit and think, I was a defender. That's shocking, that goal to concede.
As I said, like you're two mid-table Premier League players playing week in, week out. And I'd imagine David Moyes has them well drilled, with Jacob Bryant, well drilled defensively. I know he's playing as right back, but still, you can't really coach that. You don't have time to you don't coach the players really, do they? They can't really do much when they have them. I know this is the fourth window, but that's just bread and butter stuff. But I mean, to be fair with Collins, he did cut out a lot of mistakes. There was one straight pass, wasn't there? But that wasn't actually his fault. It was to Ferguson.
It was more Ferguson that time.
Yeah, he wasn't switched on to it. But then again, it goes back to the midfield. He was bypassing midfield because the two lads just weren't really.
Well, Ferguson was our number 10 really as such. So maybe that was a pass, you'd say, because of how deep it was from something that I don't know whether it was a set piece for them or they were just on the attack. They were actually quite high up. But I know people say Howard got man the match, even though I personally would have given it to Azaz, not to be biased, but to Azaz. But I just thought he was man the match because he played a big hand in both goals. I just don't think in the long run Ferguson powered up front together works. I just don't think it offers enough balance. I think we should have a natural wide player on the wing, and then Azaz in the 10 with Ferguson or powered up front. I know when you play these sort of opposition, you might want to think, oh yeah, let's get two as many attackers on the pitch as possible to score goals. But I do think we would have created more chances last night if we had Izaz playing as a natural 10 and someone playing on the left who was a winger that wanted to take people on. And like, and even for the sake of the crowd or something, Micah Johnson, if he was playing on the left wing last night, done his few step overs, nutmeg, someone would pass him on the wing, like it would have got, because the ground was a bit quiet last night until Ferguson really got his goal. So I just think, just for balance point of view, and then like the most disappointing thing with Heim over these two games, to be honest with me, is with that 4-4-2 with Ryan Manning on the left wing. Like it's just a bit
What's that
depressing.
about?
It's a bit weak, not weak-minded, but it's a bit. I know you can say, oh, anything to get a win, but it's a bit more of a. It's like a bit of a, I don't know, like
I think it's
minnows
Demi's.
it's a minnows nation's attitude of things. Like I know, but that was at 1-1 he done this with. I know, like Bulgaria at the Aviva thinking, oh, we need to stop them from getting an equaliser in this tie. And like it was like, oh, we'll bring Manning and put him on, or we'll bring Jimmy Dunn on, and fair play to Jimmy Dunn, great to see him make his debut. But like, oh, we'll put Doherty at left back and then Manning at left mid. Like I just don't understand from balance point of view. Even just take Doherty off and play Jimmy Dunn at right back if you're going to bring him on. And like, oh, it's just frustrating because we had no offered option really after that on the counter attack. You could see us get the ball, and Manning like puts himself about, and so he's naturally he's just going to turn back as soon as he gets on it because he doesn't have the pace to beat anyone, or he doesn't have a mindset of a natural winger, even though he's played up higher up. But no, I just think I think he should have brought on even Vata on the left, or even kept his ass out in the left if he really wanted to, and just went with the two strikers, because it's
I
just
think though on some of them changes though, I think look, this Nations League it is a glorified friendly in a sense.
No.
Wow.
No. He's not giving away cheap caps really, and I think he is teaching them
cheap caps.
That
no one in that squad.
No, didn't. But no, that's what I'm saying. He's not. You know, you're winning the game. He probably doesn't need to bring Rocco Vata on it necessarily. I think as well.
I'm saying even from a balance point of view, I'm saying it would have been better for balance of the side.
Maybe it would have, yeah. But I think he's gone with experience there though, with keeping Doherty on, and teaching him as well. Like, well, just kind of showing them that you need to manage this game out now. That's what you need to do. And I think that's what he's gone with. You know, it's so important getting a result. I mean, the resilience they showed, I think that's where I'm not too worried about the performance yet. The fact that they came from behind and got results twice and have won back-to-back games. Like, we were desperate for this under Stephen Kenny. And for all the possession we had under Stephen Kenny, we didn't create an awful lot.
We haven't created, Martin, I think you're counting away at yourself here. We did not create an awful lot last night. We did not create more than enough what we should have. Who had big chances last night? We had Power with the offside.
Johnson's should have scored that. He's got.
No, I thought he should have squared it. He should have.
Yeah, he should have. He should have gone across. I'm saying he should have gone across.
That's two chances.
Near post.
Ferguson had the counter attack, which was just a Bulgarian mistake.
We have a header off the line, didn't we?
And
header off the line.
Ryan at the corner. So I don't think it's a huge amount of chances for what we should have. Dave will agree with me here because we should be creating more chances against Bulgaria at home than what it was. I can't.
Bulgaria are shit.
I think.
But I think
we scored. We scored 2 goals last night, and I don't think we could have scored more than 2 because the header was cleared off the line. But that's just someone on the line clearing off. Like, I don't think we created more than enough clear cut. Like, even just for stats, our XG was like 1 point something. Like, well, I know XG is this or that, but like,
don't know what that
means. Bulgaria at home. We should be firing the shots in.
Dave, what's he doing?
Firing the shots in here.
That's not us, Dave.
No, but
I don't know what that means.
We did not create more. We did not create enough chances last night for the teams we were playing.
I think though he was. I would say, even again going back to midfield, that's what he's quite happy to attack in. My point I was going to make earlier, like even from the corners, the transition was really, really good. If you look at the goal, Ida got brilliant execution of it. That's just quick play at the end, real quality, and he put it away. Even the goal, Robbie Brady, you know, before lads were very, very selfish for Ireland going for goal when they had better options. Parrott's pass into Ferguson for his shot, he had to take it on early. He should have done a lot better with that though, because I thought he hit it really well, and the keeper got down low to save it, but it should have been in the corner. Like a professional footballer should put it further in the corner there. That was a good chance, I think.
He's a bit stuffed though.
Especially there, Connor. We say how he executes that really well, Ferguson. So I think that was just a sharpness with him. But No, there were chances for me. You don't get an awful lot of chances in international football, and I think we did. So that's it. I'm being called a spoofer, but it's fine. I've seen enough football over the years, and I've seen enough of
No,
it's international football basically.
look, I agree. I do agree with Conor though, Martin. Like, look, I this is how I see it. Job done. I did say before the window, he just wants to get these games over with and then maybe get to June. What I thought I'd hoped to see last night was a corner turned. It wasn't. The corner was missed. Literally, actually, that's how he scored.
Because it's going to take time to turn the corner. This is the thing. These opportunities.
I know.
No. Like, if he'd have had them earlier games, I know I'm going back in the history of this, but if they'd appointed them earlier, he wouldn't have had those wasted months.
I agree. I agree.
So that's the failing of it.
No, I agree. But what I'm just trying to say to you is that, it wasn't a corner turn. Yes, it was. We got the job done. But there are questions that have to be asked. Obviously, the midfield's a problem. The two lads, I think he nullified their threat down the wings because he played him out of position. That's my opinion on that. I didn't make sense, especially when you have two wide players that can play, like Vata and Johnson. They can play down those wings. You could have played Jason Knight out on the right wing and maybe played Jack Taylor in midfield with Cullen. I think we would have been better, would have been more balanced. There is a lack of balance there, and then Parrott and Ferguson up front were unbalanced. They're basically the same type of, well, I don't know the same type of player, but
they're very similar. They both want to do similar things, even though they're both physically a bit different. They want to do a similar enough thing.
Like Ferguson, he came deep for his own goal. Like that's the sort of stuff. But he had to do that because the midfield was shit. It's just there's still a lot of questions.
That's what I want Johnson doing now on the right. When did Johnson really run at anyone?
But he should be on the left. Like there are genuine questions.
The balance isn't there. We know that.
But that's self-inflicted.
Don't worry, John O'Shea. When we go play in June, he'll take over and he'll put Parrott and Smodics in the wing.
Mute Dave chat. That's fucking charming, isn't it, Jack? Anyway,
but just want to say, Martin's talking out of his arse about this midfield. He's too positive.
Wow, I wouldn't take it off. Look, Martin, he's not happy.
Yeah, he's you. No, I'm only messing.
Give him back his
I respect your opinion, but I'll respectfully disagree because
I love how he's turned on you, Martin. It was me before.
No, the thing is, do you know why I'm tired? Do you know what I'm annoyed? Do you know why I'm disappointed in him? I can wait last night, Dave, from that game. I'm actually quite happy. Very happy with the result. Very happy to be true. Win 4-2 and I were it. But Martin's whole extremely positive attitude towards the whole performance in the midfield.
No, it's not massively positive. I'm just saying, I think he's used these two games. And I know, like people saying I'm being disrespectful, calling them friendlies. He is working on something like, look, Dave, we went to Portugal and John O'Shea got it completely wrong away in Portugal, and we just got ripped apart. Okay, so you have to sit in there, right? So if you have to play two defensive midfielders, and I don't care about your attacking, then you're trying to get a result away. Like we've gone open, two open away, even at Wembley. This is the issue I think with Heimer, right? He went to Wembley with a game plan and it was working. He put in Collins in front of that back four, right? And it was working completely, frustrating them. A good side are going to open you up, right? They're going to open you up, and we can't have that, basically. You have to be able to get results the hard way now.
But we weren't playing a good
No,
side.
I know we weren't, but but it doesn't matter who you're playing. Right. Well, it doesn't matter. That's my point about, like, it's like a friendly. You have to trial things in these games. Even if the opposition's shit, you should still beat them, but you have to be able to go, right, well, this is what we're actually focusing on. Our forward line alone there, okay? If you just play an attack in a wave of 4 or 5 against them and the other 5 are back defensively, you can do that. Yeah, you can do that. You don't have to worry about it. You can play your 2 defensive midfielders in there, and the rest of them should be good enough to open them up attacking-wise. And that's what we did do. If you look back at the game, Finazaz, when he got the ball and he played really, really quick, he was our creative outlet. That's what it was about. So I'm not worried about playing them 2 midfielders and that they're not great creatively, because that's not what I'm looking for. We're not going to be looking for that against Portugal away. We're not going to be. So we're going to be looking at them defensively.
No, we're probably going to go.
I think we can't be thinking we have to start getting results playing really ugly. And that's what he has done over 2 games.
Listen, I do agree. I think mentally, very good showing, although we're still making stupid mistakes. To be fair with Nathan Collins, he made some really dumb decisions in the first half of Plovdiv. Apparently, Heimer spoke to him, said, stop doing that. And he did. And to be fair, he did. And he was actually okay. yesterday. He didn't do anything like that. So I think, it is trial and error with a lot of this with the manager, and he's having more. He's noticing things in the play. Go, I stop doing that. That's really dumb, and he'd do it. And look, that's good. That's positive. But what we need to move on because we're going around in circles. But I just think like, I am a bit worried about the lack of this whole thing of. There was a comment there, and I've been saying it. Square pegs and round holes. Just play, lads. If you had to play, in my opinion, if you had to play Johnson in his natural position there yesterday, maybe Rockefat's on the right or Knight on the right, perhaps with Jack Taylor in the centre with Cullen, who could have driven forward a little bit more and done a lot better than Cullen and Knight. You would have had a lot more balance, and I think we would put those away 2-3-0. I thought we were very stymied, very stop-starty at times, and we should. They are a poor team, and I know we have a Bulgarian guest on the pod, but they are fucking terrible. We had a back five with Premier League players in there. We had Championship level players, and we have one of the top scorers in the Eredivisie in there as well. We should be doing a lot better than that, and we should be beating teams.
Go on, Dave.
No, we should. We should.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah, but he could have played Doherty. He could have played Darashay right back, couldn't he? And he could have gone Doherty right wing, and it would have been good enough. It would have been.
Doherty stays. Doherty
Yeah, but he
stays.
wants people actually to turn up to the game, Martin. He doesn't want people to jump off a cliff.
Doherty stays. Listen, Doherty stays as a winger. Are gone. Because he's 32 now. He's 32. No problem. It is what it is. Fair play and got 50 caps. But what I'm trying to say to you is Jason Knight, I think, would have been better utilised in the right midfield because he can run with energy down the right wing. He's not a jinky winger, but he can get the ball down and cross it into the big man up top. And then you can have Finn Azaz in the centre there. I'm convinced he's definitely number 10, Connor. He absolutely is. There's no, I don't know what I was thinking about putting him as a number 8, but he's definitely number 10. There's quality there in that team. There is quality in that side. And I think that. Actually, what did you make of Dunphy's comments there about his ass?
Dunphy's back again. Rolling
Stones back
again. I think he's an absolute joke. He's a comedian. He's a clown. Everything in between. Doesn't have a clue what he's on about watching football these days. He's just saying stuff for clicks, attention. He is a fraud. I see a thing saying that the media hyping him up. Well, as I said on Twitter, I'd like to apologise to absolutely nobody because I was been justified for everything I've said about Finn Azaz over the last couple of years, how he needs to be brought into this tournament. I've never said anything bad about Alameda. But no, I'm just saying that our team midfield has to be built around Finn Azaz. Yeah. Dunphy is just looking for attention because probably he lost his gig at RTE. Did he? Imagine he lost it. I pretty highly doubt that he walked away from that.
No, I mean he's too old. He's too old.
He's just talking for the sake of it. Fair play to him. Has his column in the Star/Mirror. But no, he's talking out of his arse. He's just doing it for attention. He says we've improved positively, but the most positive thing in our team over the last few games has been Finn Azaz's performances.
And here's a question. Here's a comment he made here, Martin. I want to get your take on yours as well, Connor, and yours as well out there. He says that Heimer has Kenny to thank. What do you reckon? I think he's all right. I think he's right.
Well, the fast tracking the players is something I think will be part of Kenny's legacy in a sense. But it happened for good reasons, and we hadn't had managers invested in the team that way previously. So Kenny, all he did was just change the mindset. These players were there, and they just weren't given opportunities. I think the relevance of Dunphy now these days is he's irrelevant basically. A lot of these pundits are basically nicking and living. And
they don't watch the games.
They wouldn't have a clue. They wouldn't have a clue even about half of these players and stuff. And that's where I would suggest to them that they do follow Rep Tracker, where they will find out about these players.
Trying to get any good books again.
Yeah. No, I've had. I will blow more smoke up, yeah. But I've been at an airport with Irish ex players, chatting before getting on flights, going through the Ireland squad. All they are looking at, and this is something that happened under Kenny as well. The names are not familiar to them unless they're playing top level, and that's their criticism of Irelanders. Are not enough of them are playing at top level. Whereas I think they're underestimating how good the Championship is. Even the Dutch league, of course, as well now with Troy over there. But they're not looking and knowing these players. So they're just dismissive of them. Like they don't know half the names. I've had that before. I honestly have had Irish legends say to me, "I don't know who he is," and I'm thinking, "Aren't you coming over doing the commentary tonight?" So
Yeah, just as some of even the media as well, because Finn Azaz has not been a name in Irish media. I know it's different when a lad isn't born in Ireland, but he's not been a name in Irish media's tongues at all. Like, I know I don't want to fucking go on about myself all the time, but like,
Yeah, you do.
over the last couple of years, it's only been really me stating about Finn Azaz should be called up to Ireland team. I know he's always been a highly rated player, but people haven't really been saying we need to get this lad in the national team as soon as possible because he's what we need. But it's kind of been it's been like, I know because a lot of journalists are focused on other stuff really, Irish football, but like mine's just more really players, like, but he hasn't really been a name they've been blowing much smoke up his hole until this week. They've just thought, yeah, he's a good player, but hasn't shown why he should be playing for Ireland. But as somebody who's watched a lot of him over the last 3-4 years, he has been badly needed in this Ireland setup. And even when we've had Smallbone in the 10, Knight in the 10, creatively wise, they just don't offer to see him as what he has.
Same with Schmodix as well. Is like we were calling out for him for a long time. Kenny never played him, and and everyone was saying, "God, how are we going to be creative now without him?" And Finn Azaz has stepped up there as well. We're seeing as well one player over
towards Azaz.
Well, no, I'm not saying, not comparing him because he hasn't been as good, of course. But then he has been thrown out left. That's my point on that. But I think Troy as well just shows you being brave, moving away, settling in, scoring week in, week out. In a good league as well. It just he looks a different player. This is a guy who came into a camp previously and didn't get a minute. And now look how important he is. He's got a man of the match performance and assist. I thought it was absolutely brilliant from him.
I was very impressed. Now I want to see how he does against the bigger boys. Fair enough, and a lot of these guys. Well, including Finn Azaz. Well, I mean, sports are shite, but no, I'm very impressed with Troy Parrott. Now we are going to get comments, by the way, but I'm very impressed with Troy Parrott. I think he's I've said it, he's a lovely footballer. Just needs to toughen up a little bit. And do you know what? This Bulgaria team, dirty shower bastards, kicked lumps out of them. I know we got a couple of Bulgarian lads watching, but I'll fucking say it. They were absolutely, they were a disgrace in Plovdiv, and they tried to kick lumps out of him. And he may have injured him as well, but he took it and he kept on going. And so some of those Irish lads did as well there. And you tried to bully them, but no, it didn't work.
Again, they've got to get used to that as well. These teams will do that when they're shit. They will just start kicking you. I mean, I loved it. Actually, I was going to give a bit of praise to Cullen again. Cullen took one of them out really late on, didn't he? And it was a brilliant foul. It was proper. The tactical foul, fantastic for me.
Yeah,
anyway. And he got away with it, and their player got booked, even better.
Yeah, but like Collins got booked in the box for the other boy pushing him into the goals.
Yeah,
he could have a ref. No wonder he
was. What was that about?
He pushed Collins into the goals,
and he had his fucking arms around Collins. Like, you see that? He it's a fucking. I was in the box screaming. That's a penalty.
That's what they do. These fuckers do that. That's the thing.
Yeah.
That's where we do have to toughen up. Look, Heimer said he needs a bastard. We still, and we did it last night without Malumbi, who we were hoping was going to be. But I think they got stuck in enough. I think they matched them, especially in Plovdiv, definitely.
No, absolutely. And they're fair play to them. Like, they're a young team, but they weren't intimidated. Right, we're going to get into the comments there. Finally, a little bit later. We had a bit of a row. Are you two still friends?
We're not rowing, are we? We're just debating
our
opinions.
Just because we fall out, just because we disagree on something, Dave, doesn't mean we hate each other like you do with people. You take it so personally, and then you decide
I
you
don't
don't
take anything personally. I let you come with me to fucking Plovdiv, and stay in my flat.
Paul was not going to go to Plovdiv without you.
Oh, by the way, thanks for the free towel, Connor.
Yeah, I remember I actually told that, but
he left his towel. He brought a towel. I mean, he brought a towel to the flat.
Going on a school trip.
Do you know what I mean? He brought a fucking towel to the flat. Did you think I wouldn't have a towel or something?
If I was going to London, God knows what I'd pick up in yours.
Yeah, well, a towel ain't gonna fucking sort that out. Anyway, he brings a fucking towel. Unbelievable.
It's called good manners, just because you don't have them up in London.
I have several towels, you bastard. Do you have your name sewn into the back of your jacket as well? Do you?
Yeah, just my initials, mate.
Yeah. Or you see.
Yeah, it's a nice jacket, by the way, Dave. I like that.
This.
Very nice. It is available on the shop on lansdowneroad.ie. You can get that once we hit 5,000 subscribers. It'll be available.
Actually, speaking of which, we're at 2,028 subscribers. I noticed some of you guys are watching this illegally. Can we get to 20? Yes, you, Mr. Illegal. Who can we get to 2050 by the end of the stream? We want to get to 2,050 by the end of the stream. Come on, you can do it, Roar Faithful. I believe in you. Right, let's get to the comments. Right. We finally got there. Keep them coming in, guys. We're going to keep going until we get to the end. Finn Thorpe, this is for you, Connor. Welcome, Finn. Connor, which 5 players from this most recent squad are due for a move this summer? I'd say Kelleher, O'Shea, Ferguson, Moran, and Parrott. It's 2.
Actually, quite a few. It's
Oh,
Callagher.
and what see each of them at? Love the quality and the quality of the content, lads. Thank you very much. Sorry.
I'd say Callagher, Chelsea, Darrow Shea,
United.
I'd say Dean Huyson will leave Bournemouth for a bigger club, and Darrow Shea will be his replacement. Collins will go to Juventus. Finizaz, if Bournemouth or if Borough don't go up, which I don't think they will, he'll go to Wolves. Who else is there? Parrott, I think he could go to West Ham maybe, or just stay at AZ if not. But I think he's on course for getting a move at the way how well he's played for Ireland. Ferguson, I think he could stay at Brighton, to be honest. Who else do we have? Andy Moore will probably go out on loan again, so I don't know if he kind of has a proper move. Am I missing anyone?
Who was the other one there?
O'Shea.
O'Shea.
Smallbone be one, would he?
No, I think it's
Think he'll
probably
stay?
no, I'd probably stay. O'Shea, no, I said O'Shea to Bournemouth when Hyson goes. I'm trying to think. Bazunu will stay.
And in the Watford lads. Get a
No,
move.
Rocco will stay. Bank will probably go back to Udinese and play there. Yeah, I think he will. You start for them next season. No, I think that's probably it. Unless there's
Okay. No.
Jimmy Dunn, actually, I think he'll leave QPR. But I think
Deck Finnegan won't like that.
he's out of contract in the summer, and he was going to go to Sheffield United, but they didn't offer enough money. So unless QPR, I don't know. I think Sheffield United will probably take him if they get promoted.
Are they're in the They're in the championship at the moment, aren't they?
Who? Sheffield United.
Sorry, I'm getting Sheffield United. Are
They're on course. They're on course to get promoted in the top 2.
Wednesday as well, aren't they?
Yeah, Wednesday as well. Yeah.
Grand. I'll get to that. Grigor Tisovnov. I hope I'm saying all right. Welcome, Grigor. Hey, Bulgarian here. You guys are worse than I thought. Bulgaria attack sucks. We would win game if we had quality in wing and ST. And your players are diving cheats. And your players are dirty bastards. But there you go. And then he continues, from my view, your best player that I was scared of was the striker Adam Ida, and also the Wolves player Doherty.
I feel like that's a fake account.
No, I'm just.
I don't think it is.
Gray on the way. He says Doherty. Go on, click that bit where he says Doherty. Doherty.
Is he doping?
Is that a fake?
Matt Doherty's doping because he's so. He's
50th cap for him yesterday.
Congrats, Doc. Congrats.
You know what? He has. He has impressed though. You know,
he's been excellent.
Someone we were thinking wasn't going to be. You know.
Someone here that's talking right now may have given him a lot of harsh words. That's all I'm going to say.
Look,
all 3 of us. Celtic Symphony, how you doing, Celtic? Thoughts on the potential front 3 of Parrott, Ferguson, Ida would be deadly in aerial contests. Thanks. No,
we're going long ball, we.
Yeah, maybe if we were chasing like a 1-0 or something like that, if it got to that stage. Yeah. But no, Connor doesn't want to know. By the way, thank you to the 1,200 of you watching us live here on a subscribe
Monday.
to Monday night. Jesus. Nick responds to Grigor, our Bulgarian friend. Which player died exactly? They didn't need to die because your lads are fouling them constantly. Grigor responds, I don't know the players' names, Nick. The overweight one on the left wing. I was like, fuck, was that? Like, are you slagging on? I thought what with Connor thinks that's about Finn. Jesus, he go mental.
Who's he on about?
He's actually on about Ryan Manning. I got the name Ryan Manning of Southampton. He was looking for a foul all day in plopped it. That's because he kept fucking going through him.
Yeah, he was just using his body well.
Yeah.
Stop diving in when you don't need to.
Exactly. Play the game. Jack O'Connor. Hi, Dave, Brendy, and Connor. Love the show. Thank you. Great display yesterday. Field tilt around 60% and encouraging XG from open play. Okay. Final third entries also higher from previous regime so far. Connor, can you translate that for me, please? Thank you, by the way, Jack.
Field tilt.
He's busy saying we played in the final third a lot longer.
A lot longer.
passing around backwards at the back. We were playing a lot more
Oh.
attacking third.
There you go. All these stats, man. I don't understand it. Alex, well, gents, who's the best player of the break, do you think? Oh, well, Connor, there's no point in asking you. We know who that is. Martin, for you? Cullen, was it?
No, it wasn't. Finner's House or Troy Parrott. And also, I would just say that for Evan, I think that goal's really, really important.
I did say last night actually that was the most important thing in the whole window was Evan Ferguson scoring that goal. But it's obvious. Dave, enlighten us.
No, I'd say Finner's House is probably the best.
Yes, enlighten us.
No, Connor, I call it as I see it.
And Martin doesn't. Fortunately so.
No, I mean, Callum Dowd is his favourite player. What do you expect? Jack O'Connor, hope it well, lads. Sorry, Martin. I'm sorry, Martin. He bought me a cappuccino as well today, and I'm being horrible to him. You're being horrible to him, Connor. Stop being horrible to him. Sorry, Martin. Teresa Roach, how you doing? Teresa was there last night. Super atmosphere. Nice one, Teresa. Hope 40,000 on school night, lads. I mean, does that not dispel the myth that the public aren't behind this team a little bit? I mean, I know it's not.
There wasn't 40,000 there,
Martin.
There was more though. I thought we were going to say like
there wasn't 40,000 there.
Empty.
There was loads of seats going. There was loads of spare seats.
What, about 10,000?
That had been brought. There had been tickets that were brought. People couldn't give them away. Seriously, couldn't give them away. There wasn't 40,000 there. And that is something I would say a little bit of criticism of the FAI. I mean, people are saying, "Oh, on a Sunday, why they're playing 7:45 and hammering the FAI for that." That wasn't an FAI decision.
No, it's UEFA.
But also, the ticket pricing, €45 was the lowest price ticket. That's not good enough, to be honest. They've got to go a bit lower with that.
Yeah, I mean,
and it wasn't a good atmosphere.
Oh, poor Teresa, leave her alone.
Sorry, Teresa, it wasn't. It was. I mean, go again, watch Ireland again, because it would be a better atmosphere probably in June.
No, well, I'm glad you enjoyed it, Teresa. Don't mind Martin. He's just grumpy because we kind of put him in his place.
I thought people were very quiet last night. And the Bulgarians taking the tops off. Did you see that? That wasn't nice.
I couldn't see them.
No, what are you trying to do?
Why couldn't you see them in the push seats?
Because we were watching the football.
With the band. Yeah. Oh, well, you're next to a load of Bulgarians. Yeah,
actually,
they sang a bit.
There was a guy doing the commentary in front of me on the phone, and I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, I was thinking, is he getting his fridge fixed or something? I had the cans on me because I was listening to the RT commentary just in case, if I missed something. And when the goal went in for Bulgaria, he was like, "Goal, goal!" I wanted to slap him. Goal! I was like, he's fucking commentating. He's doing a Clive Tilsley. Remember, like the Champions League in Moscow somewhere, Man United, where the ball hits the side. When he used to sit in the little buses and go on the phone. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Oh, not Martin.
Yeah.
Anyway, Downtown 123. Well done again, lads. Great work again. Thank you, Downtown. Really appreciate it. I appreciate you. What marks out of 10 would you give Heimer, and what score? What would score the Ireland team over 2 games? That's a really good question. I'm going to go first. I would give him 6 out of 10 because I think he unnecessarily complicated things with the selection. But he has instilled, I think he picked the right players. He just put them in the wrong positions, perhaps. What say you, Connor? See you down there?
I agree. 6
out of 10. Martin, 10 out of 10, Martin, yeah?
I'll go for the team overall, just resilience and getting the results after going down in both games. 7, Heimer a 6.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. The team itself, I'd give them a 7. Yeah.
Yep. 7 for the team there, Downtown, and 6 for Heimer. Thank you again for your kind words. Very much appreciated. Celtic Symphony. Someone is pretending to be Harrison in this chat. I reported for impersonation. Hopefully that takes care of it. Good on you.
That's the bromance of 2025.
That is an unlikely romance. Neri Nurik, how you doing, Neri? Love the fanzine you produce for the Bulgaria way. Thank you very much. Hope you will be doing the same for the autumn matches. We will. We'll be doing it for June as well, especially as Armenia, Portugal, and Hungary are not likely to produce match programs. We will, and you know what? We're going to get better. And a big thank you to James Agnew, not only because he brought us munchies, literally brought us packs of munchies yesterday, but that was absolutely his thing that he wanted to do, and fair play to James.
Well done, Connor.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well done to me too.
Yeah, so anyway, so James did a fantastic job on who muted my mic? That's so immature. No, The two lads, bastards.
He doesn't
No
know.
respect.
Can I
Right.
just say something quickly? I had the FAI apology, but I'm going to say something else. The reason he only got you munchies is because that was the only sweets that they were selling in the ground. So whatever the official deal is in that, wherever I was anyway, that was in the West Lower. The only sweets they had was munchies and twirls. It's also, I owe the FAI apology. I always say you can't buy shirts, you can't buy merchandise in the West Lower. There is a FAI kind of shop. So they were selling merchandise. So I
Yeah,
take back all my criticism of
the
the FAI.
The shop is gone next to the Wanderers Clubhouse.
One next to Wanderers Clubhouse has gone, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and also just a big shout out. I'm going to say hello to Gary Spain, supporters liaison
Yes.
officer. Great to see him yesterday at the game, and wish
Good.
him all the best, of course.
Yeah, hope you're well, Gary. An absolute gentleman, and you always see him on the away games. A lovely fella, and we wish you nothing but the best there. But just to finish up, James Agnew did a fantastic job writing all that stuff. But we will be doing the fanzine again, and they're going to get bigger and better, and as they go on. But yeah, thank you for
If
your
you have
kind
any
words.
ideas of what you'd like included or what you'd
Yeah.
like to see, or if you want to put forward for it, make sure to reach out to us.
Absolutely, we're very reachable. We don't always respond. It's not out of ignorance, just sometimes.
I
especially-
always do. Don't worry. I always respond to my fans.
just-
Martin doesn't respond to anyone. Dave will
I do
respond with
respond.
voice notes probably, but that's about it.
I do respond. Oh, Martin, don't get Martin started with voice notes. I sometimes, especially during an international window, it's the worst fucking time because I'm getting messages all over the place. Oh, by the way, we're up to 2031 in terms of subscribers, guys. Can we make that to 2050? Go on. Or Connor's gonna have a heart attack. Come on. Nick, good window overall. As asked to stand out. Needs to play number 10 though, and not out wide. 100% agree there. And John Foy says he subscribed, but he watches us on Facebook, and he goes, "You're welcome." Oh, thank you very much, John, for that. Do what John's done. Even if you watch us on Facebook, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go on, be sound. Celtic Symphony, I saw next, formerly Twitter, that you were in the matchday program. Congratulations, incredible achievement, young man. Thank you very much, Celtic. It's a good thing no one else was in it. John.
Thanks,
I
Celtic.
think that must be the first time all of our names are in the program.
Well, you weren't in it. I thought it was your daughter.
And well, there you go. Sorry.
Yeah. It's right.
Oh.
Trying to ride in your daughter's coattails there, Matt. That's a bit low.
Yeah. Living through your
Jesus.
daughter's dream, are you?
Yeah, vicariously. Yeah. Celtic Symphony. Connor and I do write programs in the. Right. Well, actually,
look at you.
Right in the program. Sorry. Well, to be fair, Martin, I did edit a program, our own fanzine. Just saying. Just put my little back slap there. But yes, Connor and I do write in the program. Martin doesn't.
I have written in the program in the past.
Appreciate it, Celtic.
And they don't have
you on
crayons
that.
anymore.
Just
Thanks, Celtic. I
have
appreciate
been in the
that. I know
program in the
that's
past.
not even a Dave because he's not a young man.
Jesus,
And it
that's
wasn't on
low.
Twitter. But I'd imagine it wasn't on Twitter that you appreciate. Actually, it was Ian Byrne, performance coach, who shared my articles on Twitter saying it was great work. So I'll imagine that's where a Celtic seen that. So appreciate it.
I did actually share mine on Twitter. So
Yeah.
fuck you, John. Hi, Dave. What's your opinion on Gabriel Ottagabeo? Well, from Cork, 6'3", centre defender, and he's played 7 times with 1 goal for Sheffield Wednesday. So he's he's one to watch out for.
How
He's
you?
one to watch out. He's one to watch out for, lads. So there you go. But obviously,
Give us the backstory.
no. Just I was asked. I listen.
Jesus.
People like to try and catch me out with players. Don't you worry. I'm rolling,
I
I'm
guarantee
not
you,
gonna
when you
lie.
seen that comment
no.
earlier, you waited till me and Martin were talking, and then you Googled his name to see how it come up with his transfer market.
How dare you, Connor?
How many minutes has he played for Sheffield United Wednesday this season?
Dare you? I'm not going to justify that with an answer. Moving on. Like and subscribe. Get us to 2050 by the end of the stream. Not the year. Although, God knows where we'll be in 2050. Get us there for the number of subscribers. Hopefully that answered your question there, John. But I think he's very unlucky because, he's only 20. So he's got time to develop. But he's a bit lucky at the moment because, obviously, we have a plethora of central defenders. Even ones that didn't get on, like James Abankwah. See that? I said his name correctly. I'm on a fucking roll here, lads. Kieran Martin, the midfield is dreadful, says Kieran. Daniel 2606, love that Martin, always be positive.
Yep.
And then John goes, Callum, COD, Callum Adauda. Jack O'Connor, Azaz getting a lot of hype in the media. In the short term, he did great, but his underlying numbers doesn't look sustainable for the qualifiers. Oh dear. X threat and XG was overperformed by a lot. Connor,
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah.
Go on, Connor.
I'm not answering that.
Not see snowflake Martin. You see, I answer.
Yeah,
I get asked the difficult questions, and then Connor gets asked a difficult question, and he doesn't respond. There you go. John goes, no way Martin's watching RT2 in London. Yeah, I mean, I watch it in London as well. Do you want to tell us, Martin, how you managed to watch it?
Oh, I think it's one of our partners, is it? NordVPN?
NordVPN. I'm actually might rewatch the match after this on NordVPN. John Foy, come on, guys. At the end of the day, it wasn't consistent pressure. We would love to see for 90 minutes. No, it wasn't. But we still got the result. Better than Kenny on his first 5 games. I just wish they could press a lot more.
Why?
Yeah.
Why do we need to press? Why? We don't need to press. Why do we have to play? Because that's what Liverpool do. Why do we have to play that way?
We
don't need to.
I think actually,
this is what I'm saying. We don't need to.
I think our defensive structure was all right. It's just that
we don't need to.
It was just on the ball.
You don't have to just adapt and
more direct.
It goes to show we can pass it. Like we passed the ball well last night, just not forward, but we held on to it well, I thought, at times.
And that's what Stephen Kenny did without going anywhere. And we did do that at times last night. We did actually progress and play quicker in the final third and transitioned really, really well.
Fair enough.
Lies.
Dan Mullen, great win, 2 great performances. Evan scoring last night will hopefully help him get his confidence back. Apparently, Heimer sang around the V. Summer camp is massive for the World Cup qualifiers. Good on you, Heimer. Yeah, I mean, look, Evan, as you said, Connor, rightly so. That was the big thing, and he took his goal so well. What a finish! Like top roof of the net, superb, like a rocket. And yes, the summer camp is now massive. I thought we maybe would have turned a corner last time. We didn't quite. We did in some aspects, but just in terms of cutting out the mistakes, getting a 2-0 comfortable win, and we made anything but comfortable. But yes, summer camp, new players, especially in the midfield, Martin. And then hopefully we'll see a bit of impetus return. Bailey, Prenny, did you even watch the match? Oh, dear. That midfield was horrible. Lost multiple balls and always passed sideways. You're sounding like a desperate rolling stone.
Of course I watched that. I was at the game, wasn't I? I would also say wonderful seeing strikers playing for Ireland who put the ball in the net massively. A massive improvement on some former players that people still rave about.
In fairness, he scored more goals than Troy Powers did last night? They scored the same amount of goals in what was it, 70 last minutes?
Answer him, Martin.
Over the 2 games, the same amount of goals.
It's fine.
He's just fucking. Martin's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
You know who did score the same amount of goals as Troy Powers? Lennon Miller.
There's actually a comment about that. Oh, don't get him. Cullen being compared to Cullen being compared to Whelan is ridiculous, Martin. There's a reason Whelan played Premier League football for 10 years and Cullen's played 1.
Yeah, look, Whelan was playing in the better Ireland team. Playing in the better Ireland team, without a doubt. So Cullen's been tarred with that. And I'm not, I'm just saying that we will appreciate Cullen in future. I think, I don't think he probably will have as good a career as Whelan will, undoubtedly. But Whelan was underappreciated by Ireland fans as well.
He was.
What are you going to do if we bring in, say, for example, Boston now all becomes our greatest number 6 and our number 6 or like midfielder since Roy Keane? I don't think we're going to say how we didn't appreciate Josh Cullen.
No,
because if we had Declan Rice never played for England, we wouldn't even be talking about how much we appreciate Josh Cullen.
Be. But I just think, I think he will be kind of regarded though still. I think of getting us through a bit of a crap time in a crap side. So. He wasn't one of the worst players in it, without a doubt.
God, could you imagine if we did have a Declan Rice in his team?
Oh, stop!
Oh, God, it would actually make a massive difference. We him and Grealish would be qualifying.
Right. We have this conversation too much, so.
Yeah, that's true. We'll move it on. Knight is a fantastic player, but I don't like him deep at all. No, it might be hard to find a role for him with Malumbi and Smallbone back. I'm telling you, right wing, play him on the right. Not just play him as a right midfielder.
Against the bigger nations, he's always been excellent as that like number 10 as such a highest midfielder of remember France at home, he was man of the match that day playing in midfield. He was excellent. There's a lot of games that against bigger nations he's quite good in that like number 10 role. Maybe it's better when it's a 3-5-2 situation, but no, he still has a massive role in this Ireland squad. The future is just against these smaller nations with lesser talent. I don't think it really is.
Fair. Dan Mullen asks, "Are you okay, Connor?"
That was
about an
my
hour ago.
when Prendy was talking.
Yeah, I mean, that's harsh enough on anyone. Talk is rich. I'm afraid Cullen and Knight together won't cut it getting into the qualifiers. We're relying on John Patrick Finn or Bosun Lawal to push on and give the midfield a bit more skill and presence. Yeah, totally agree with that. Nick, one of Cullen or Knight beside a bigger, more physical and mobile midfielder would be a lot more balanced. Need to try out Lawal or JP in the friendlies. Baylor, I haven't seen an Irish midfield have a prominent presence since before Kenny. Probably since Glenn Whelan, when he was playing. Jesus, who was he playing? Do you remember when Martin O'Neill retired him? Because it was really supposed to be Declan Rice was going to take over. So Glenn Whelan was retired by Martin O'Neill, and then he played Cyrus Christie midfield, and then Mick McCarthy brought him back. He was playing in League One at the time. Who was he playing for again?
Wigan.
Was it Wigan?
I think so.
I don't think it was.
Bristol Rovers.
Was it not a team that was wearing red?
No,
have a look there, lads.
I think it was Wigan.
I don't think it was Wigan. It was League One, and he did really well. It was a Fleetwood or something like that. It was like it was a weird name. It wasn't Wigan. I could be wrong.
No, but just not. David Myler was a big physical presence, although he didn't do it for long. There was a period actually was quite good for Ireland.
He's captain as well.
Yeah, he was actually a good player.
Did you like him?
David Myler?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did, yeah. You probably didn't like him because he made FIFA videos with David Myler or with Declan Rice.
I didn't like the FIFA videos, but also loved himself. There was a generation of players who loved themselves and fancied themselves far too much, and they never ever really delivered. Not him necessarily. Harry
Don't
Arter.
say Harry Arter. He was a brilliant footballer, excellent footballer, the most technical midfielder we've had in a long time, and that's a fact.
He was playing with Hart at the time.
Oh.
Jesus, I thought it was a League One team.
Basically League One.
Yeah, basically League One.
Don't disrespect Harry Arter. That's Roy Keane's fault. At the end of the day, that Johnny Walters, Harry Arter thing, it came back. What happened when Johnny Walters confronted him at Ipswich? Because he's a bum.
Yeah, did nothing.
Keane was a fake hard man. That's a fact. Our greatest ever midfielder, but he's a fake hard man. Isn't that right, Dave?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. I thought easy video greatest ever midfielder. I don't know. I think Ronnie Whelan, maybe Johnny Giles, probably a bit better. Martin. Yeah.
It's not even a debate, is it?
Even Didsey, if Didsey dropped back in the midfield, he probably is just as good.
I mean, he's more technical build in his little finger than. Yeah. I'm telling you, Brown, Duffy is a winch bag. Yes, it is, man. Kieran, Cullen and Knight lost the ball 10 times in the first half.
There was actually, by the way, not even just on the ball, off the ball. Between last night, the two of them won one tackle. Cullen won one tackle.
And they were bullied in Plovdiv. They were absolutely bullied in Plovdiv. As I said, if you want to, Ferguson had to go all the way back, retrieve the ball and go forward because not one of them did it in either leg. And also when Cullen, when you think about it, Doherty had to make that run because there was no movement. Knight wasn't moving, and Cullen just stood there with his foot in the ball, and Doherty made the run. Now Cullen picked him out, but I'm just saying. Anyway, Andrew Moran has the talent to carry the football forward from midfield, but we'll never find out if he isn't given a chance. I think June has to be June. John Floyd Martin is right. They will be torn to bits against top teams. He's dead right. You have a fan there, Martin.
That's why we need them out at midfield. That's why we're doing it. But Martin's trying to say that they're doing well.
Not when they're doing it. No, because you're not understanding my point. Tactically, that's the way he's set up with two sitting in. They're not expected to open up. And yes, you can say Bulgaria, you should have done that. We could do that against them. That's not what they were asked to do.
Fair enough.
That's it. And one of the reasons they can't pass the ball forward as well. And you're saying about Ferguson coming deep for that one. Michael Johnson, they weren't available for them to pass the ball to them. I didn't think our wingers offered enough, to be honest.
Probably because they knew they couldn't pass it forward.
Well, so they're played out of position.
Otherwise, it goes back all the time.
They're played way out of position. Once Azaz moved back into number 10, it looked good. It looked right. And I mean, I felt bad for Johnson. And then to bring Manning on as a left mid, as a left winger, and then keep Johnson as a
You
right.
brought him on at left back, and you were celebrating this great move, changing left back, which I agreed with. And then you fucking go defensive by bringing Dunn on and putting Manning at left mid, which is very disappointing.
It was very weird. Yeah, it made sense to come on to play him as left back. You know,
Because he is a left back, isn't it? Isn't that such a tactical genius decision by Heimer that we have to celebrate he's bringing him on a left back on at left back?
and then he moved. Then he fucked it up. Then he put Doherty as left back.
Because we did get worse after that. I know we scored. We did get worse. We had less control of the play because we went too deep, and it probably went in the mindset of players. Oh shit, Manning's naturally going to drop deeper. Like,
yeah, it's just. I hate when these modern managers are trying to be cute. Just
don't think that fairness, he has done well with bringing Sykes in. Sykes has done well in both games off the bench. That's probably been the best tactical decision in game. Is the Sykes impact.
Yeah, he was very good. Talk us Rich. Could be interesting to see Smodic and Azaz playing together if it's possible to get them both in. I thought Sykes offered something different as well when he came on, just as we were saying.
Yeah, Sykes was good. And Smodic would have to play on the left if you're going to fit both in, I think.
Yeah, I mean, what a lovely problem to have, though, isn't it? Like,
finally for once.
Smodic, we were looking for a number 10. We got two completely different number 10s.
We have competition all over the place in every position. Even starting midway, competition for places. But it's just a pity they're all literally the exact same player, pretty much in level. They all just play. I know he's on about, but the thing is, a lot of players are literally the exact same standard.
Yeah. And John Foy says, and let's not forget Bulgaria, we're not a good team. Baylor, Prendy, we've played Bulgaria and he didn't show up. Why are you saying that they are going to get found out by better opposition? They have been found out by Bulgaria.
I'm saying the way they've sat in defensively, that's I'm talking about a little bit more tactically. You've sat in there. You're not allowing, like, Declan Rice is going to go pump that ball forward against you, like he did tonight, actually. But
who's playing tonight?
They were playing England, weren't they?
You're
about two minutes of it. I was. But yeah. No, in all honesty, that's what I'm saying. They're sitting in that kind of low block kind of thing. So I don't want to go all XG on you. But against a good team like Portugal will move their midfield and open them up. They will. That's what they do.
Right, let's try and lash through. We've got loads of comments, by the way. Thank you very much. Keep them coming. We're going to try and lash through them. So, Celtic Symphony. Knight is the Alan Brown of his generation. First division box standard players who can cut at international level. Knight is a 12th man of a squad at best. Thanks. And then he continues. Brian is a great player also.
Jason Knight is on course to getting a move in the summer. If you actually watch him in the championship, not the setting against Celtic, but he actually has had an excellent season. He's been one of the more underrated players in the championship. He's been Bristol City's player of the season, who are level on points in the sixth of the championship, which no one would have expected. And he's probably, I could see a likes of a Bournemouth or someone like that picking him up in the summer, because he still is a very good player. It's just he's not in this system with Ireland where he's sitting deep. Because basically, at the moment, we're playing two number sixes. We're not playing number 6 and a number 8. Jason Knight doesn't go Jason Knight hasn't got the freedom to go box to box in this system because of I think it's because we're playing two midfielders that no other midfielder or a number 10 can even cover him from at times, because he's been so deep. When has Jason Knight made a run into the box, or you've seen him anywhere near the opposition half? It's kind of like just two number 6s, and I do think that is limiting Knight to a sense, because he is naturally always came through as a number 10, and you do see when he plays for Bristol City, he is a lot better of a player. But yeah, I think his ceiling's a lot higher than what Alan Brown has reached his limit, I think, which is a good championship player. But Knight's still young, like.
Fair. Baylor might as well have had the mystical Lennon Miller midfield. Celtic Symphony. Someone is pretending to be me now. I suspect it's Wesley. God damn it, Wesley. Nuri, according to the Football Ramble, the travelling Bulgarian fans were trolling us with a banner which says, "You don't have a metro." You don't have a metro. Anybody sees it. I'm fucking right to troll us.
Did they actually have that?
Did they have one? They didn't have one in Plovdiv, that's for sure. Must have one in Sofia, did they? We fucking need a metro. They are right. Well done, Bulgarian fans. John Foy, Martin Wright, and spot on again about the creativity midfield is lacking no pressing, as I said. Wesley, get a life, please, says Celtic. Yeah, Wesley. Who's Wesley? Jack O'Connor, proper impressed with how comfortable Sykes looked. Do have concerns about him physically, but technically he's phenomenal. Looks to have that composure and trust in his own game. A player. Grigor Tsazovnov. Your midfield is trash. What is the podcast guy talking about the top right? We talked about this earlier on. Says they were better passing. Cash Fats Rolling Stone has been real quiet since his mistake about his ass playing against Greece. He's ashamed to chat now. He does come back though, Cash Fats. Facts. Dan Mullen, take your blinkers off. Prendergast, Cullen and Knight are shocking. They're lucky there's no real depth for us in midfield. Kevin Gerard Corliss, Cullen poor in recent performances and Knight terrified with the ball. Worth trying something new. Even just a ball carrying midfielder, somebody creative besides one of them would make a difference. Celtic Symphony says, I think the gent in the upper right corner is siding with Cullen because he's also an English-born Irishman. So I just thought I'd say that one again. Just a thought. Jack O'Connor. Ryan Manning is a rhino. Lad crashes into every duel and comes out unscathed. Warrior. Kevin Gerard Corliss. Also, what is this insistence with square pegs and round holes with Ireland managers? Totally agree. That's the best comment of the night, other than the one about you being an Irish-born Englishman or an English-born Irishman.
Paul McGrath's good enough for me.
There you go. Cash facts. Ryan Manning is a good passer, good technical, intelligent, but he is pretty slow. So although I admire him, he will never be enough to bring us back to the promised land. Pace is everything nowadays.
Spot on.
That's a point. Downtown 123. The issue is Knight and Cullen are doing better club level than any other Irish midfielders, but Ireland don't have any top class midfielder and it's seriously hindering Heimer. Rice is a loss. Yeah. Cullen says Nick. Cullen is good for Burnley because he has 6'2". Josh Lauren beside him. Need to balance out his lack of physicality with a bigger lad. Ben C06. Get Killian Phillips in for June. Connor, who's
very good player. Tobias St. Mirren scored against Celtic scored against Celtic, got man of match against Rangers. I scored a wonderful, like a bicycle scissor kick, sort of like a half bicycle a couple of weeks ago. Yeah, he's an excellent player. I don't know if he's ready for the senior team as of yet, but he's a big physical presence in midfield. He covers ground and loves his country. So if he came in to Ireland in June, I wouldn't be against it. And he doesn't wear the poppy, which would make Irish fans even happier.
Jesus. Cash facts. Play Nathan Collins as a sixth midfield. We have loads of good CBs. Celtic Symphony says, Cash facts. Nathan Collins turns like a Dublin bus. No, thanks. Jack O'Connor. Darty in that Orby right centre back slot, is really nice. Allows us to still push Brady on as left winger, but the pivot players really help with the structure. His dual winning and on-ball quality is top from right back.
He's actually very spot. You can tell when we get on the ball at the back, it ends up being like a back three as such with Doherty on it, and Doherty, Collins, and whoever. So Brian O'Shea, and then Brady kind of pushes up really as another wing option, which is very true for Mr. Jack O'Connor.
Good man, Jack. Kevin Gerard Corliss. I still feel Ferguson and Parrott cannot play together. Both try to link play and don't run the channels in the same way. Either Armstrong would. Should play with an Azaz or Smallish behind one of them. Yeah, I think that's fair, isn't it? Yeah. Nuric. Ireland wore the same Castori kits as last year in these two matches. Can we assume there will be no new strip this year? Seems that way, doesn't it? Because it was always around Patrick's Day. They'd sort of fuck it up, Castori, wouldn't they? You know, the week after Paddy's Day, they'd release a new kit. So it's got to be no new kit, is there?
Brandy, any word?
No, heard.
Dean Flood
friends with some kit suppliers.
Why'd you ask your pal? Jesus Christ. It'll come out in the book one day. Dean Flood, probably new strips for qualifiers in September.
Yeah, I think so. That'd be right, yeah.
Yeah. Jack O'Connor. Oh, you know, when the season finishes, yeah, because that's when it starts, the international season in September. Jack O'Connor, Darragh O'Shea and Jacob Bryan debate is interesting. Jacob Bryan is a unicorn centre back, but Darragh O'Shea is way more fluid on the turn because it doesn't have really broad shoulders like Jake O'Brien. Unicorn? What the fuck? What?
There's a real basketball reference to say about players.
Okay. Can you...
It's just how like unique they are as a player to say if someone's like a really unique player, this is a unicorn player. But I don't know if I'd say that about Brian, to be honest.
That's what the ladies say about me on the dating apps. Unicorn.
That's what you identify as, a unicorn, not he, him, or she, them. I identify as unicorn.
Listen, I live in London, whatever gets the job done.
And you have the horn.
the horny unicorny. Irish Jedi, you need to rub the green. You are. And Heimer is starting to get it. These results are not too important in the scheme of things, but all of a sudden, Heimer's a decent win percentage, which gives confidence. Listen, absolutely right. We're talking about how it wasn't a great performance, but if we go on and have a really good June and then build momentum going into September, this is a distant memory. This is a distant memory. He has got to break the mold with this team. This team is set. It's basically set in failure. Let's be. I hate to say it's been set in failure, out of qualification early. Just all this negativity, etc. He's got to go in there, and I love Stephen Kenny, and I think he's done a great job in terms of blooding in these young players. But let's be honest, it didn't work out, and he has to change a massive negative mentality into a positive one. And it is happening. It is happening. I just wish he would stop putting fucking square pegs and round holes. Irish Jedi. On a big pitch at the Aviva, I'm not sure O'Brien has the pace. He was slow to sort his feet out for the corner. We could see it from last night. I stick with Darragh O'Shea and Collins. I think that's a fair comment. John Foy, yeah, the two lads should have got to the ball. Unbelievable mistake as the Bulgarian goal. But a keeper was watching them instead of the ball. Our keeper just looked a bit stiff in the last two games for me. The elephant in the room will question our keeper's performance and fitness. Kelleher, not Matt Sharp. Would you agree there with John Foy?
No.
Martin?
No, I thought it was pretty solid.
I don't know. You can give out about Kelleher. I don't know. You can go away for them 2 games, and be like, "Yeah, Kelleher didn't look Matt Sharp." No disrespect, John, but I don't. You must be analysing each player individually if you're saying that about Kelleher.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. But thank you for the comment. Thomas Brereton was at the match last night. First time seeing us under Heimer, and I thought we were much more positive on the ball, playing between the lines. Ida was for me the best player, even though he was a sub. Okay. Cash Facts gives his team Kelleher right wing back, Doherty left wing back, Adam Arola, centre back O'Brien, centre back Abanqua, centre back O'Shea, centre midfield Cullen, centre midfield Collins, centre midfield Azaz, striker Parrott, striker Ferguson. I'm not gonna. Yeah, okay. Connor, if you're listening to this, Connor has a face like a well slapped arse on him now. Jack O'Connor, XG for fuck's sakes, Connor lad. Good on you, Jack. Good on you, Jack. Tony Herbert, hi lads. Glad you made it home safe, David and Connor. Thank you, Tony. Tony in LA, I believe. Welcome back, Martin. I'm just thinking out loud here. Our problems in the centre and left are obvious, but I'm yet to be convinced about Johnston. Well, I think the last 2 games he played out of position. We have to be fair. I think Johnston's one of those players that if we're at home and we're against sort of like mid opposition, you play him, in a 4-4-2 or 4-3-3 or whatever on the wing, and just let him play his game. I think if you're playing like a top team like a Portugal, you probably wouldn't have him in the team, would you? You'd probably be going like 5 in midfield.
He needs space to attack, doesn't he? He needs space, I think, to attack.
Like he'll just do 4-4-2 against these top opposition. I think he'll just put Smodics on the wing and Ogben on the wing, or Fessy on the wing as well. Like I said, I just don't think I just think he'll stick with it. I think he's decided that 4-4-2 is his shape against these.
I don't know. In England, he played 5 midfield. He packed the midfield. I think, which, by the way, I'm nothing against. By the way, it worked against England for the first half. Just in my opinion. Obviously the penalty and the red card. Jack O'Connor, this Martin fella is an absolute spoofer. Who are you, Martin? Tony Herbert. However, let me ask you this question: if we were to use practical wisdom with the amount of top class centre backs we have, should we not play 5-3-2 to Tony in LA? Connor?
I wouldn't. I'm not one that was this totally against it. But Dave, I think you're better on this because you're the Mr. Anti-5 at the back.
We don't have wing backs, do we, Dave?
No, we don't have wing backs.
Theodore.
Yeah, but he hasn't played yet, has he? He's still playing. He's playing with League 1. No, League 2 at the moment with Bradford.
Yeah. So no, we could have Fessy the wing back, Ben if I'm wing back.
I mean, yeah. Look, I mean, the problem was when we played 5 at the back, we kept doing it without fucking wing backs. So can we play it? Can we play a wing back system with wing backs? Well, let's see.
We've cod.
Yeah, cod is the word, all right. Codden. He's only a cod. No, look, I mean, I'd be all for it if we had the wing backs to play it. I'd be yet again goes back to what Kevin Jared Corliss was saying. He's actually got the next comment going up here. Was why we putting square pegs in round holes. Kenny did it. John O'Shea continued it on. 5 at the back without wing backs, just without wing backs. It was ridiculous. When we played Coleman and Doherty together against England and against
Yeah, but I do think O'Shea's system though was a bit. He played what was it, a 3-4-3, which
we got torn apart. I mean, but even the game against England, like where all he had to do was just was it Gordon hit the ball? Was it Gordon? I can't remember now. Like
it's because they played Coleman as the wing back and Doherty as the
dumb. Yeah,
they played Doherty as the wing back and Coleman as the right centre back. When it really realistically looking back, it should have been the other way around.
And he separated. There was such a gap because he couldn't move. You know, just couldn't move. Their legs were gone. Anyway, Kevin Jared Corliss Johnson very wasteful with the ball. I know he didn't have his best game, but played out of position. Jack O'Connor Martin, you'd have Obafemi laying if you could, lad. Playing if you could, lad. I mean, if he was playing well. Thomas Brereton Martin, I agree with you. No. I thought we had more than enough chances to win the game and we're not clinical. Agreed. We should have been 3 up before he scored. The one off the post was unfortunate. That was flagged as offside. Did you see that, Martin? Even though he was mild.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Should have scored, my opinion.
He should have. Jack O'Connor, mute Dave chat.
Fuck, gee.
That's fucking charming. Darryl O'Connor, how you doing? Darryl, delighted to come away with 2 positive results. I think with confidence, mistakes will stop. Agreed. Midfield does worry me. Andy Moore, and hopefully the man for that. I think we're not far off a solid team. I think we've made a really good side.
Like, it's the best. I'm telling you, that starting 11 last night is the best starting 11 we've seen in Ireland since 2017, 2018, probably.
Yeah,
it's probably the most talent we've had in the pitch from an Irish point of view in that long. Like, even I think if we qualify for the World Cup next time, we could arguably say at that stage our squad is stronger than what the Euro 2016 was talent-wise.
Yeah, no.
I just think there was no superstars or potential stars in that team. It was just all good players in the prime of their career, but there was no potential of stars like there's the Ferguson or a Parrott or an Azaz. They were just either they were in their prime or they were slightly past it, but it was a good enough team that could reach a major tournament, if you get me.
I mean, Cyrus Christie in midfield. Just don't forget that. Never forget. That should be taught in schools, that Martin O'Neill played Cyrus Christie in midfield with an hour's fucking notice, and he completely ostracized the rest of the midfielders against himself and poor Cyrus Christie. Never, ever forget. It should be like a fucking museum or in like a statue. This one here, Connor. The next one coming up. Celtic Symphony, typical English attitude, saying Nations League games are friendlies. These games are important to us, Martin, and these need to be treated with respect. Look at the quarters of the main draw. England didn't qualify.
I didn't look at the quarters. I have no interest in the A and B level, really, apart from where we're impacted. You know, so
yeah, because you're English.
So look, I can understand what Heimer's doing. That's all I'm saying. Like he's setting out where to play. And one thing I say is bullshit of modern football is all this system stuff. You know, why have you got to just play one? You have to be able to adapt. Good teams will adapt and shuffle across and move into, load the midfield. They adapted a little bit last night and posed different challenges, and we had to figure it out. And you could see the lads doing that. Troy Parrott made a lot of runs trying to stop, but he was going, I'm doing it on my own here. There was a lot of that. Did you notice that from where you were? A lot of that, not getting that little trigger right, of when do I go or whatever. Same thing happens in Plovdiv as well. So, that's a work in progress. That's stuff that you work on in the training ground. You've all got to be in sync, because you could see a few of them like having a go at each other, actually. Of that. So,
good.
You've got to be adaptable systems.
Okay. By the way, I love the Nations League. I think it's really good. It tells you where you are. It literally doesn't lie to you. We are at this level. We're not quite good enough to compete in Group B, but our League B, but we're way too good for League C. We're just exactly where we are right now, and hopefully Heimer is going to lift us up. Jim Bear, Dunphy playing the contrarian ripping Finnazaz after his excellent play both games. It's typical Dunphy. Connor needs to give him his standard. Don't doubt me. Let's hear it, Connor.
Don't doubt me.
And you look like his Bond buddy when he says that, Martin. Better be careful of this land in a couple of years. Nick, we did have more XG last night than Northern Ireland had in a 5-0 win. Don't like the XG shite, but it does show we had a fair amount of chances. Oh, sorry, what was on there? Grigor again. I also thought your goalkeeper, Callagher, was poor. I thought he would be better. I watched him in Champions League for Liverpool. Wow. Fucking whoop. Yeah. Don't we all? Yeah, didn't see too many Bulgarian players in the Champions League. Jimmy Shell, Jesus lads, you're becoming El Grannies fighting. I know, aren't they? The two of them.
Martin.
I was just love each other, really.
Yeah, we all love each other. Irish Jedi Heimer is benefiting from Kenny fast-tracking players through the system. No matter what pundits say, a lot in the game patterns, like starting games well and giving up a soft sucker punch, still there. Yeah, pretty much what we've been saying, to be fair. Irish Jedi. Cash facts. For this team to bring us back to the glory days of Italy 90, we need Keller to become number one at a Prem. Our Bundesliga team and a proper athletic centre mid to emerge. Lowell maybe and Evan to fulfill promise. Donald O'Connor, we dominated the first 10-15 minutes. If we had scored them chances, we would have cracked on. Pity to not get a clean sheet, but we're getting there. We are getting there. I do believe we're getting there. We're just pointing out the mistakes, but we're getting there. I am hopeful. Irish Jedi, this team is always going to improve with the players getting older in the prime and not in the group with Greece, France, and Holland. The big thing is momentum of wins, no matter who against. Jack O'Connor, I don't know how you see Josh Conn as a long-term midfielder. The sooner he's dropped, the better. I think sadly constantly exposed on the pullback and second ball, poor midfielder. Harrison Dalglish, hi, I agree with Martin. Johnson was very shit. What was he at? Celtic, hi Harrison. They are
back.
Reunited. And he waves hello to his friend. Jack O'Connor, Johnson is terrible. Irish Jedi, do you think Heimer is hoping Seamus Coleman retires this summer to avoid an awkward decision dropping him for the World Cup? I don't know, Irish Jedi, because I believe these two gobshites said that he'd be starting for us in the World Cup.
No, I said if he'd be there with us. I said he would be not retired. I said that's still go. His goal in football is still to qualify for that World Cup with Ireland. That's all I said.
No, it wasn't.
Turn into a musical.
Yeah. I didn't know you could sing, Connor. Celtic Symphony. Have you answered this question, by the way? Can you answer this question, please?
No, because he won't be. No, it's just either he'll just be too old or not.
He'll be retired by the end of the season. I'm telling you now. The lad can't. Nothing against Seamus. I've met him. He's a gentleman, great player. But he can't even play for Everton. I reckon I think
he'll be a player coach next season.
Yeah. Well, I think he'd just be a coach, to be honest. I think he's sort of doing the Gary Neville / Mark Lawrenson role where he just won't. He's gone. Or Lawrenson would just sit on the bench. Anyway, Celtic Symphony. Seems like we have some people impersonating us. Funny, L World, this YouTube stuff. Yeah, I had it as well. Rolling Stone, this is Gary Breen talking about the match. He said is concerned that after 7 or 8 managers, Heimer still doesn't know his best team. Irish Jedi. Well, he's had a lot of injuries, to be fair. I would still have Will Smallbone the team over Jason Knight when fit. Dan Mullen, Dumpy's just a bitter old man. Harrison Dalglish. Heimer needs to do better. Negative football. We should be putting 3 or 4 past those farmers. I'm telling you. I agree with that.
Agreed.
Rolling Stone, I wouldn't think Charles Brady would agree with Dumphy. Irish Jedi. Heimer spoke
about
would.
He thinks he would agree with Dumphy.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, you're all right. Irish Jedi. Heimer spoke about how important it was to have 2 left-footed natural wide players on the left and vice versa, then ditched it for the second leg. Baylor, lads, can we get an All My Tears Have Been Used Up Heimer edition?
Go on, Martin.
Well,
what's that? Is that a song or something?
Yeah, it has to be.
I don't know. We're not down with the kids. Irish Jedi, I completely agree with Martin on Irish legends being out of touch. Yet these are often the people with the news columns and TV pundits slots influence the public. It's a lot worse than you think. Cash facts, I agree. Will Smallbone has great stamina, runs a lot, super energetic. Jack Connor. Are there any decent young midfielders coming through who we can say he will be playing first team football in the next 2 years? Connor, quickly for you.
Romeo Akinchukwu, Jimmy Mullins, Joe Bryan Whitmarsh, Jack Morehouse, obviously, and then obviously the lads that we know about, Boston and Andy Moore, etc. And there will be more. Hopefully, will come through. Rory Finneran at Newcastle, he's a top talent. But obviously, I think he could be one more. It's 3-4 years away, not 2-3. And Grady McDonald, who's at Club Brugge. So no, there's loads.
Fair. I'm going to try and fly through the last of these and wrap this up. Jack O'Connor, cash facts 100%. Yes, just needs regular game time. He's a very good player technically and can read a game. I'm not sure who that's.
He's talking about Bosun.
Will Smallbone.
Bosun.
Or, I thought he was on about Will Smallbone. Irish Jedi, bold prediction. I think we're going to have 9 points from 12 from our first 4 fixtures World Cup campaign. You never know. We could get some decent momentum. John Foy, he's right. We should have done better against Bulgaria. Ireland played for 45 minutes. First game. Second game, there was only just small bursts of quality and pressing. It's a 19-minute game. This must be about me, is it? It was a very mishy-mashy performance, but like you said, job done, but not convincing. Positivity wise results are better than Kenny's, but not pretty at times. Thank you, John Foy, agreeing with me. Rolling Stone, Duffy's criticism of Zaz is over the top. I think the point he's making is that Zaz will never be a Premier League player.
Did he say that in this column?
No, I don't think he did actually. He just said it was over. I could be wrong. I don't know. I could be wrong now. He probably did. So I kind of read it and I laughed. I thought Connor's got to read this. John Foy, which one of you is SVI?
Who's Eamon Dunphy? Who's Giles and who's Brady?
Oh,
in us three.
Well, I think I'm Dunphy.
No, Martin is. I don't know. Well, who just says controversial stuff for the sake of it, or calls people cods, or calls people a show pony?
I'm
Bill.
I think I'm Giles. I like to just keep things simple.
Oh, you're not.
You're the Jimmy Redknapp.
Well, he sounds like him, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know, John. Which one do you think we are? I probably am a bit dumb. I've been told.
Actually, that's a good question in the comments. What pundit or person on TV do you think we're all most like on TV for individually, or just in past or present? Good question in the comments. Come on, tell us.
I reckon I'm Dunphy. I reckon you're Giles, and I reckon Martin's Liam Brady. He just likes to. Oh, actually, no. You could be Liam Brady, Connie. You just like to row at me constantly. Brandon Walsh. When we play Portugal, we will obviously have 2 defensive midfielders, but we still need to be brave and use Zaz as a 10 with 2 proper wingers and try create chances against them instead of getting battered without laying a glove on them. Dean Flood. Midfield still needs work, but I honestly believe the mentality of the team is starting to improve after being in the dumps in the last couple of years. Nick at Rolling Stone is Zaz will be a Premier League player in the next year or 2. He has 20 plus goal contributions in the championship. For God's sakes, a promoted team will snap him up 10 goals, doesn't he, in the championship, I believe.
10 goals, 11 assists. He'll be bought in the summer. Like, it's just a matter of what.
Promoted team. And he'll show what he can do.
Or Wolves or even a Brentford, like something like that.
Yeah, but there's no point going to an Ipswich type team who don't do fuck all. Jimmy Shell, head scratch for you guys. The fullback your captain under 21s, Kenny, broke record for under 21s captain. Anyone remember his name?
Leo Connor.
Played for Man United. He's at Tranmere Rovers.
There you go.
Fall off. Suppose he's doing really well in Tranmere Rovers, but he's in League 2. So, I think 24. So, God knows where his long-term future is going to be, what level.
Look at this guy, Franco, Koi Big, California. I'm an hour from landing in San Francisco. What a great trip to Bulgaria and Dublin. Come on, you boys and greens. Thrilled for Ferguson. Good man, Franco. All the way from San Francisco.
He's West London, isn't he?
Yeah, West London, Franco Connor. Yeah, met Haima out there and had a good chat with him. So
top man, Frank. Top man. Mark Lynch. I love the way everyone from all over the place.
Flying from San Francisco. Fucking hell.
Gotta be done.
Not short of cash.
He's a pilot.
No comment.
Oh,
Frank's a pilot.
Is he?
Yeah, but he's obviously not flying himself.
I don't know.
He's everywhere. I've met him many a game. He's a brilliant lad. Really good lad.
Maybe Frank, you said, oh, yeah, he's probably getting a fucking plane to Rome,
Frank,
or whatever.
You make sure for the World Cup next summer, you make sure you get us a sponsor with some airline that'll fly the 3 of us over on first class for free.
Get that house extension built as well.
Mark Lynch, following on from the transfer talk, if Burnley get promoted to Cullen, get another chance for them in the Premier League. Now they want to stay up.
Yeah, he will. Yeah,
I think so. Kieran Yoke, best moment of the window was Dave saying, that particular thing. I was a decent Bulgarian player. Listen, you want to try do this, lads, when you're flying through the fucking comments. I don't have a producer, so Rolling Stone. It's all a bit of crack, isn't it? You're gonna laugh. Rolling Stone. Gary Breen believes that Collins' form is a massive concern for Ireland and is down to poor communication between himself and Heimer. Don't think so. Poor communication up between him and the manager. What Premiership team is going to play a number 10 who can't press, has no athleticism. He doesn't have exceptional vision or passing to make for it. Obviously, his ass, isn't
Yep.
Greg O'Lucky, what has happened to the singing section? Embarrassing last night. Martin a bit more. And
Jimmy the Bell had a go with the bell, didn't he?
I think they're just all still dying from Bulgaria.
Yeah, I think that's a factor though. A lot of people, had difficulty getting back as well. And a lot of people, couldn't get back. With travel and stuff, couldn't. It was too close to try and get travel and over.
The people that were flying to Heathrow, actually, did they manage to get a flight home that day?
Some people didn't. Some people didn't.
Yeah. What are you about to laugh, Dave?
What?
You're about to laugh at our loyal fans that didn't get their flight to Heathrow. Horrible bloke.
No, sorry, I was reading the comments. I wasn't paying attention to what you pair of tossers were talking about. The championship standard is awful, hence the reason why none of the promoted teams can stay up anymore. Shane Cox, any idea when Portugal away venue will be announced? We don't have an idea, do we?
2 to 3 months before.
2 to 3. Okay. No, on the lads trying to get back from Heathrow to Heathrow, my heart absolutely went out to them. We bumped into a few of them, didn't we, in Sofia airport? Could have been us. Could have easily been us. That's a fucking embarrassment, actually, what happened in Heathrow, and there's an inquiry.
Typical English.
At least, but yeah, listen, it's embarrassing that I think it's it's the biggest airport in Europe. It's top 5 in the world, and one power cut can cause all of that. There's an inquiry going on about it, and to be fair with the English, Martin, as you know, and not being funny, but they will have an inquiry. They will find out what happened, and whoever is responsible, if they do have an inquiry, they will get fucking done.
Well, the airlines are suing them, aren't they? As well,
they're suing him, yeah, and rightfully so.
Thank you, Michael O'Leary, for putting on the rescue flights.
Did he?
Ryanair did, yeah. Rescue flights Stansted to Dublin, things like that. So people can get over.
Jesus. Did you see some? No, I mean, yeah, I'm sure he
was that in his stand-up planes at no seats. You just stand up.
He just came out and he old shite, didn't he? So he went into a hotel. He went into a restaurant, didn't he?
Yeah, I've seen that.
And fucking they put in the bill like extra leg room, extra cutlery, all this shit on it. Good on him. Rolling Stone. Morris starts playing like a man instead of like a little boy. He has the talent to play in the Premiership. I don't think that will happen, but it's possible his talent is miles ahead of his ass. Jack O'Connor, shame you can't pronounce it either, Dave. What? Man, get this fake Jack O'Connor out. What?
There's 2 Jack O'Connors in the comments.
Oh, for fuck's sakes. What's going on? John Foy, press to score. Martin. Greg O'Lucky, we're too slow to get out and we've no width. Well, it doesn't help when we're not playing the guys in the right positions. Well, I agree. Rolling Stone says Nick that Moran can be a better player than Zaz in the long term, but I'm just saying that Zaz will probably get a move to the Premier League in the near future. Greg O'Lucky, when was the last time 2 strikers scored in the same game for us?
That Gibraltar game away when Callum Robinson's, remember the last game of the World Cup with the 2 strikers? I know McGrath scored, Robinson scored, and Ferguson scored that game, didn't he? The 2 of them scored that Gibraltar game.
There you go.
That was in Florida, yeah, wasn't it?
I was, yeah, we were there. Franco, I believe they are also looking to do some sort of camp in May. Also, I assume championship players, etc., maybe in the US. Oh, lovely. Brilliant. There's much time. Rolling Stone, compare his ability to the number 10s in the Premier League. Elliot Palmer, Morgan Gibbs White. He's not on the same planet as them. John Foy, I meant get on it, the ball more up, and the more up, get it up right through the Bulgarian defenders. Not enough pressure for a full 90 minutes, as opposed to 5 minutes of attacking Bulgarian nets and eventually scoring. Fleetwood was Whelan. I don't think that was.
He did play for them, but just not at the time he came. His comeback.
2020, yeah. Just looking there.
I think that was
Jimmy
while
Snow.
he was retired by Martin O'Neill, wasn't it? That was during his retirement period.
Well, yeah, he joined on 20. I think, did he go on loan at Hearts? He was at Hearts and he went on loan to Fleetwood, I think. I could be wrong.
Yeah, he was in the Ireland squad when he was at Hearts. I'm
He,
pretty
w-
sure.
and he was at
And he
Fleetwood.
might have been on loan from them. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think you're right there, Jimmy. Brian Hogan, Bristol Rovers and Wigan as well. McAteer would eat himself, says Greg Lockie. Ronnie Stone, Wales was like Zidane compared to Assad.
He went. He was at Hearts from January until July, and left on a free transfer to join Fleetwood from
2020.
July for a season. No, Fleetwood. He was at. It says here he was at Fleetwood from July 1st, 2021 to September 4th, 2021, where he joined Bristol City.
I'm pretty certain he was at Fleetwood.
Yeah, he was, but he didn't think he
But
played,
Mick-
did he?
2019. I'm pretty sure he was at Fleetwood.
He wasn't.
29,
Transfer market has it. He was at Villa.
but on loan.
No,
In 2019.
no.
I'm telling you, he was playing League One football for Mick. When he was playing for Mick McCarthy's Ireland in 2019, he was playing League One football with Fleetwood.
And maybe he actually did. On 24th of January 2020, he joined Fleetwood for free transfer.
Yeah, I think.
And then left in July.
The information is incorrect. Also, I'm looking at Wikipedia, but he was at Fleetwood, playing for Ireland Fleetwood on loan.
He played Fleetwood for half a season.
Brian Hogan, Stephen Ireland, please. Oh, yeah. Dean Floyd, Evan Ferguson, when he dropped deep last night, arguably better than Keane, in my opinion. Oh, Aaron, what's
Not right now. He means Robbie.
No,
I don't think he does. He means Roy. Gregor Lucky, we need a destroyer midfielder. Haven't had one since Mark Kinsler. Probably Glenn Whelan, really. Mark Kinsler, Jesus, what a player he was as well. Lee Mewett, I definitely think it's also a Premier League player. I think, like Wes Houlihan, his mobility will see him sacrificed in away games. Lee Mewett from Malumbi or Knight. Gregor Lucky, get rid of both central midfielders. Play Troy, Evan, Sammy, Finn, and Jacob Top. Put him under pressure. Roddy Stone, we will only be a Premier League player. He will only be a Premier League player if Middlesbrough are promoted on the Carrick. Jack, I don't think he agrees. But yeah, Jack O'Connor, no doubt Jason Knight's a brilliant player. He just needs more freedom. And he continues, Phillips, or are you to Jack O'Connor's? I don't know. Phillips, pure passion merchant, decent technically. Harrison Dalglish, I mean, come on, Ferguson is exceptional. That's a centre forward bread and butter. Take the ball, pop it off, get in the mixer, sniff out a chance and take it. The quality on that strike, God, somebody. It was beautiful. It was beautiful.
Couldn't say it any better, Harrison.
Yeah. Not analysing the keeper, but goals we let in, says John Foy, in at the end of the day. Great podcast as usual. Thank you very much, John. Nick, back five of Festi, right wing back, and a Banquet carrying out from right centre back would be class in theory. Maybe so. Does Scales come back straight into starting 11 for the World Cup qualifiers?
I don't even think he makes the squad.
I agree there, yeah. Greg Lockie says no, I agree there. And actually says he doesn't make the squad.
The thing is, like, if we think of, like, say, for example, Bamidele's back playing in France every week and comes in June or the qualifiers, does that mean a Banquet comes out? But then by the start of next season, Aaron Cashin could be playing in the Premier League every week. So that means Aaron Cashin would probably come into the squad as well. So, like, Scales, like, I don't think Scales is ever, unfortunately, I don't think Scales is ever going to get his place back at Celtic as the main left side centre half, unfortunately.
He's not an international.
Actually, that could be a shout actually for the summer. You might want to clip this. Darrow Shea to Celtic if Ipswich get relegated. They tried to sign him last summer, but he decided to go to Ipswich instead, play in the Premier League. And I believe he is a Celtic fan. So I've seen something on his Instagram about it.
Most Irish players are, aren't they? Brian Hogan, Festi, and Agbani, wing back, O'Shea, Collins, O'Brien, centre back. David Cahill, hopefully John Joe continues to play regularly for Ram. When he stay up, surely gets him into squad for summer. Midfield is a big worry for us. Either way, even you go down, he has to have a look at him. Greg Lockie, did I hear Connor say if we qualify and not when?
Yeah, very disappointing.
Connor, what's happening? John Foy, someone agrees with me. Our keeper was poor. Good on you, John. John Foy, I said that to Connor comments about Coleman last night. He's a bit old and not as sharp as he was. You did. Lee Mewett.
Go on. Keep reading the comments.
Johnson reminds me. I know the comment you're laughing about. Prick. Johnson reminds me. I'm McGeady, great at carrying the ball, but very poor football IQ, which explains a lot of end product. John, Foy, okie dokie, we'll leave it there. Love it, good man, John. Rolling Stone, yes, Johnson is a shite McGeady. I was thinking that last night. Jack O'Connor, David Thierry Henry, Connor, Jamie Carragher, Martin, Jill Scott. Yeah, that is.
Jill Scott actually is quite good. I think she's quite good in the TV. It's just she's a bit of an annoying voice. And actually, by the way, I actually think Thierry Henry is actually quite good in TV. But the one person I actually heard slagging him off last week was Mr. David Dunn.
Slagging off who?
Thierry Henry.
He fucking loves himself.
I can't stand Thierry Henry. He's a prick.
No, I won't forgive.
No, I won't forgive either. Not until I get my €800. No, it's $1,000 now. It's gone up in inflation. I was there that night. So you were there, Martin, as well, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there.
Oh, were you in the same city, Martin? The city you love me. Didn't even know it. Connor is Dunphy, Martin is Hope Solo, and Davis Michael Richards with a shite laugh.
That pisses Dave off even more. Martin, do you like that Mike Richards? I love him on the TV. I think he's class.
Yeah, the TNT though, it's just
he's on TNT.
No, what's the one with Carragher and
CBS?
The CBS, yeah, Carragher and Thierry Henry and
Micah and
Kate does it, does she?
Martin is like Robbie Savage.
That's just shite. Can't
giggly
stuff.
Connor likes Micah Richards, thinks he's funny, and funny.
You probably think Ali McCoy isn't funny either.
I like Ali McCoy, so I don't mind him.
Don't mind him. He's not hilarious. Like, I mean,
I think he's good on co-commentary. He's good color commentator beside Darren Fletcher.
No, he's very good. But I mean, Ali McCoy was better when he was younger in the 90s as a commentator. Remember when he was on ITV, France 98, I think.
What did you think of Townsend back in the day?
I liked him. Not for me, Clive.
Yeah.
Not for very venison. Couldn't understand a word he was saying for ITV. Couldn't understand the word.
There's been some shite co-commentators. There are some absolute bluffers out there, as we know.
I mean, look,
Big
Ron and Gary, Big Ron and Clive Tilsley, Big Ron and Brian Moore, Kevin Keegan and Brian Moore as well. Class.
I think Darren Fletcher's the best
now, doesn't he?
Hold on. Go again.
Sorry. Stephen Kelly does a lot, doesn't he? RTE now and
Ray was on those bits. What did you say, Conor? There you spoke.
I think Darren Fletcher's the best on TV these days, commentary wise.
Yeah, but I can't forgive you for saying that you like Micah Richards. He's a fucking he's so bad. And that stuff, Martin, as you said on CBS, where Henry's having an argument with your man, whoever, some American player, and then the two lads walk out, Jamie Carragher and Micah Richards walk out, and then you do this whole like Scooby-Doo creeping in thing. What the fuck is what is this shit?
Watch the clip of Jack Grealish after the Champions League final talking to Thierry Henry and saying, would he have how would he got on against Kyle Walker? It's just so like in their prime every day. Proper.
And they paid him £4 million per annum. Sky.
He's not wrong though, is he?
No, but he loves himself. Like fucking loves himself.
Right, go on.
Sorry, we found a Connor. Snowflake. What was that?
I'm reading this.
Oh, do you know?
Is this funny? Like, it's just stupid comment, load of shit.
Do you know how I am wrong about his ass? I've just been informed that Real Madrid scouts are tracking his progress at Middlesbrough in the championship.
That's just a shit comment. Like,
the scouts believe that the sky's the limit for the 30-year-old Irishman.
Does he think he's? See, Dalglish is not happy with him.
Oh Jesus, I miss you, Dalglish. Is that your attempt at humor, Rolling Stone? Is that? Have we discovered humor now? Is that our sarcasm? Have we gone?
Exactly. He's what he just finished as 24.
24, yeah.
I don't know. Let's wrap this up and get the fuck out of here. Celtic Symphony. I'm buzzing for Hungary. Home. Lansdowne Road will be rocking, and I'm confident the Hungarians will shit the bed.
Fact.
They shit the bed last night. They haven't recovered since us. That's Zabozlai got rattled by young Arda Guler.
Arda Guler. Did you see that though?
Nope.
Because Guler shushed him last night. Zabozlai commented on something with the minutes he's played for Real Madrid this season. It's like 1,088. And then Guler put on his Instagram story, he says 6 goals not enough for you because Turkey beat Hungary 6-1 in aggregate.
Fair. Liam Hewitt, Franco, a lot of respect coming all the way from San Fran, making a long trip from Cork. Seems not so bad. Good man, Liam and Franco. Fair play to you. Harrison Dalglish, hi Rolling. Do you still think Ferguson will be playing the championship next season? Rolling Stone goes, yeah. Tell me I've heard you and him are really close. He will be joining Preston, says Harrison. Gregor Lockie, sound Dave, no bother. What?
I think it's about the commentators thing.
Oh, right. Next level LFC, Darryl Shea would suit Wolves, Brentford, or Palace. He's capable of playing at the top level. Celtic Symphony, Taze, D-Nut from Celtic on 21s is having a strong season.
I feel like that's another one of like lick my balls off. Taze D-Nut.
Tasty Nut, yeah, Tasty Nut. Here we go.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone, you must be heartbroken, Dalglish. Don't worry, I'm sure he will keep in touch. Greg Lockie, McCoist is like a fan watching and says what we're all thinking. I do like McCoist. I do like him. Great player. Harrison Dalglish, that CBS is horrible. Yes, they had the speed clown on recently. I show speed. He is misogynistic. He's just a prick.
All right, leave him alone. He makes me laugh. I love speed.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
This is where we go wrong.
I love
This
speed.
is where
He's so funny.
You know, I was glad when he went into the Royal Rumble and your man Braun Breaker actually fucking. Did you see him?
And he took it like a man. He took it. How well did he take it?
He took it well, but I was just glad to see Braun Breaker. Like he fucking that was stiff. I don't care what he's.
I love speed.
Why is he class? What does
He's
he do?
A top guy. He's just funny and he does all these things and he's
funny in what way?
Just makes me laugh. Just things he does, like, and he's just a character.
Do
like.
bunny shadows make you laugh, Connor?
No, I just have a personality and I like people putting a smile on my face. Unlike you take you
remember that
Irish mentality that likes
not to make
people doing bad things.
Not to make this a London thing, Dave, but you remember the lad who walked in someone's house in London?
Yeah.
In error. That's speed for me.
No, I know who you're on about. No, I know who you're on about, and I do not like that person. I know exactly who you're on about, but that is not what speed is like, and you're just saying that just for the sake of it. You're just saying that you can't judge a person you don't know anything about. It's like me judging Bono. I don't know anything about Bono, and if I said
fucking watch what you're saying now,
you know your shit.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Don't you fucking say a word against Bono.
If I said I thought his music was shit, you'd be like, oh yeah.
If you said that, I would magically appear on your screen, attacking you somehow. And by the way, yeah. Greg Lockie, he's not funny. Billy Connolly is funny. Dave Allen is funny.
Who?
Funny people.
Who?
Exactly who? Rick Mail was funny, may rest in peace. Exactly.
Billy Connolly looks like Jimmy Savile. Actually, no, I actually know who that is, but like, why does he looks like Jimmy Savile on some of the photos?
He doesn't look a thing like Jimmy Savile.
No, I'm telling you on this photo, when you search him on Google, the first photo comes up, he looks like Jimmy Savile.
Oh my God, this has taken a serious turn.
This really has. Right, let's finish up these last. Rolling Stone. At least one person in here has a sense of humor. Okay.
Thank you, Rolling Stone.
No, I think he's talking about himself. Baylor, Luke O'Connell, 2026 is his year. Thoughts on Mason Amelia very quickly there. He broke the record today, did he?
That was good, actually. We didn't mention that. Under 21s beat Hungary 3-1. Mason Amelia scored, breaking the record. Youngest ever under 21 player breaking Troy Parrott's record. And then Conor McManus, not Conor McManus, I played for Monaghan if anyone's watching, scored twice on his international debut, which is good to see. Amelia is as good as it comes.
Here, look at this. Greg Lockie, cancel Conor. Celtic Symphony. Connor, thoughts on Andrew Tate? Did you see somebody put a picture up of Conor McGregor and said Andrew Tato?
Andrew Tato, yeah.
That's brilliant. Speed is kids' humor. Nick, good on you. Rolling Stone loves speed, says Nick. Rolling Stone, I was talking about Martin. He cracked up laughing. I saw it.
And before people think, I'm not an Andrew Tate fan, just because I liked Speed, who makes me laugh. Doesn't mean I fucking like Andrew Tate.
Jesus Christ, we're only getting started. Connor,
I like a young lad who's doing well. I like there's a young lad who's around my age just doing well for himself. It makes me laugh. So that makes me because he said a joke on a video game fucking 5 years ago when he was 16.
Yeah, but just best of luck to Carla announcing the women's squad tomorrow. I know, Connor, you probably won't be tuning in for that.
Why do we have to wish? Why are you wishing her the best of luck? They're actually playing. I've seen they're playing America in the summer.
I've seen that. Yeah, being good.
Yeah, and under 19s, under 17s play tomorrow. I think the 19s game will be streamed if anyone wants to watch that. Germany will stream that. The 17s, I don't know as of yet, but there's a chance that they can qualify for the World Cup. In December time, I think it is. It's in Qatar. We have a trip to Lansdowne ROAR trip to Qatar to under 17 World Cup. Martin, see you there.
Yeah, if you want to pay for that now, sponsor, please sponsors. Celtic Simply, no ham in the fridge. Good night. Thanks, Sam. Sorry to hear that, Celtic. John Foy, thanks, guys, for the podcast tonight. You can give all the pundits a run for the money. Thank you very much. John, hopefully I'll run through Thierry Henry. Greg Alocki, are you lads going to Colorado for the women's friendly? No.
Well, if someone sponsors us, we'll be there.
Well, if someone wants to sponsor me and and pay my bills, and absolutely.
Yeah, so right. They're in Denver, aren't they? And Cincinnati, the double kind of header thing in June. 2 games in 4 days.
Well, just actually before we go, Baylor asks an excellent question. What happened to the Buy Me Coffee thing? Nothing. Just it's in the thing. If you want to support the page, do head over. Just go into the links below. You can buy us a coffee, lash us over a few quid. We very much appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good man. We probably don't promote that as much as we should, but thank you very much. Right, lads, we're going to get out of there. Thank you so much for your support. Fantastic. Just over 1,600. I'll be watching us on a Monday night, now Tuesday morning. Well, that is it. That is the March window of 2025. The boys in green got 2 victories. It wasn't pretty. Job is done. We've got our first back-to-back competitive wins in 6 years. We've cemented a place in League B. Now we have to roll on to June and hopefully a bit of a summer camp, maybe in May and June, and a few games. Anyway, we're going to leave it here. Don't forget, you can watch us live. Not sure what day we're going to be on this week. It'll be Sunday or Monday. We're a bit wrecked from all the traveling. Well, Connor and I are, Martin. You didn't really do much. So anyway, we're
Martin.
Yeah, very disappointed, Martin, actually. But anyway, we're going to leave it there, guys. Thank you so much. Lads, thank you. Connor and Martin, thank you for coming on. Martin, thank you for the cappuccino today. It was very...
Actually, just on the Under-17s World Cup draw, there's still I'm just looking at it here on the... I thought it was only like the 1 or 2 best runners-up, because Ireland can't win the group anymore, qualify for the World Cup. But it's actually the 4 best, and Ireland currently sit as the 5th best. But they are on 3 points. Serbia ahead of them on 4, Czech Republic on 4, Austria on 4, Italy on 6. If there's an extremely good likelihood that not all 4 of them will win their matches or whatever tomorrow. That if Ireland beat Iceland tomorrow, they will finish in the top 4, and would mean they would qualify for the World Cup at the end of the year, which would be massive for this group of players. I think I don't know what they're doing, but I think it would be a great idea if Michael Noonan took a flight from he's currently in Germany with the 19s to Poland to play that match tomorrow, just to help them emphasize beating Iceland and maybe help them with the goal difference, because like the 19s can't qualify any longer. So I don't know. I'm just guessing. I just think it would be a good idea if because it was a couple of days ago when they last played, and hopefully they've decided.
All right. Well, if you're watching, hopefully we'll qualify for World Cup tomorrow. Anyway, lads, let's get out of here. I'm David Dunn. He's Martin Prendergast. And of course, that is Connor McAvoy, the one person in the world that actually thinks that Michael Rich is funny. This is Lansdowne ROAR. This is the international.
Don't forget, I'm a misogynist and I love Andrew Tate and I hate all women. Don't forget that.
Wow. So this was Lansdowne ROAR. That was Connor McAvoy. Now cancelled. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you can. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Good night. God bless. Come on, you boys in green. And the girls in green. And the girls in green is...